YouTuber, Pokémon enthusiast, writer, filmmaker. In this month's episode of Nostalgia Bit, we sit down with the wonderful Euan Scholes to talk all things film.
George and I went to watch Backrooms the other day. We both individually watched Obsession. People are hungry for fresh new ideas.
Trading cards.
Logan Paul brought this hype during the pandemic.
He's a scourge on the TCG community.
He is something on the boot of my shoe.
You can say it. And of course, our upcoming mockumentary film, Wingman.
We've got a man in nearly a nappy and
Basically.
wings.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, oh God, everyone's going to be looking. Lo and behold, Camden NPCs.
Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of Nostalgia Bit. We are back once again, but this time with a very special guest. I am joined as always by George Sheard. Say hello, George.
Yeah, hello. Same old. Same old.
But today, as you can see, we are in a different format. We are joined by the wonderful, the amazing Euan Scholes, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
It's crazy.
I'm a long-time nostalgia baiter.
A man of many accolades. Thank you so much for coming on. It is a pleasure to have you. I feel like we've wanted this for quite a while.
We have, yeah. I mean, it's really funny, isn't it? That like 102 episodes in, and we've had 3 guests.
Well, you're specific. I quite. If you'd had like 102 guests, I probably wouldn't feel that great. But
That's
to
true.
know that I'm like, top 5, that's
True.
cool.
You're joining an elite lineup.
Yeah, definitely in our list. You were sort of third. You've come in nicely there. Yeah,
podium.
Yeah, it's good. You get a bronze medal. How are you today, Euan?
I'm good. It's very hot.
It is really hot.
It's
well
hot.
It's well hot.
Yeah, no fan on, window closed. I'm at the top of the house, so it's very hot. But I think this is just something that we're going to have to face moving forwards.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like noise removal on to the nth degree because I've got 3 fans on.
3?
Oh no, the other one's not on. That's 2. Okay. It's fine.
Sorry, guys, just 2 guys to
Only
ruin
2.
your audio.
Sorry, Cooper. Not all of us could still live in Newcastle, where it's
I guess
minus 5 degrees.
That's your choice, not mine.
8 degrees difference is crazy.
Yeah.
Even the difference. A girl who I worked with yesterday, she drove down to Liverpool last night, and she said even the difference from like Hartlepool to Liverpool was like astronomical. Like it was crazy.
It's madness, man.
It's been absolutely bonkers.
It's been a lot.
But you're a man of many accolades. Hobbycast, DOP of Wingman, ladies and gentlemen, 3 of the 4 pillars of Wingman here. And you are also my replacement as George's cameraman in George's latest pub crawl video. But we're going to go through a couple of things. We're going to ask you a few questions over this time. The first thing I want to jump into, speaking of being George's cameraman, is the pub crawl video, because we briefly alluded to it on the last episode. And I mean, it was quite a storm when it's released, George. It's taken you a little while to...
There was also a bit of a storm when we filmed it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not appreciating that shit, Cooper. I did an entire film in the middle of it, But yes, it did take a year to edit, just under a year, because it's coming up on a year since we recorded it. Actually.
Yeah, it has. Yeah,
I think as of recording today, this episode, we're in a week off. So
really?
A week away from the year anniversary filming.
That's pretty good. Under a year, I think is fine.
Yeah, but yeah, you've replaced Cooper as my cameraman, both unpaid.
Yeah,
of course.
Almost borderline slave labor. Cooper used to do a lot of stuff with me back in the day with YouTube, and since moving as far away as I possibly could, I've now got Euan, who has got. I mean, your camera abilities, man. It's competition. Cooper.
Thank you.
All right.
I do have the
Never claimed to be a cameraman.
But yeah, the pub crawl did really well.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Really glad, because I feel like if I came on this podcast and that video didn't do well, it would be like, welcome Euan, George's least viewed videos. That's where you know him from. Because let's be honest, the Battles in Time videos didn't do great.
No. No. you've been in. I want to say 3 videos on my channel, but like we did 2 projects, right? Because kind of the Battles of Time one was one big project, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I've loved working with you on those because I think that we share a very similar love for like content creation, and where over the years my interest and motivation has kind of dipped and like my content becomes more sporadic. It's been really refreshing to work with someone who is as passionate and motivated as you are with YouTube. And I think that doing the Battles in Time video, doing the pub crawl video, it's like those are 3 of I think the best videos on my channel, like easily in terms of like production value, in terms of like fun to make. Sorry, Cooper.
I've seen some of the videos that you used to record when you were younger. Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. But yeah, how was it? How was the experience of doing the pub crawl? Because after spending a year editing, I do realize I'm like, it is a lot actually to film a video like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited at the opportunity because I think George and I have spoken before about the fact that, like, in university, you're around a bunch of film snobs. And it's like, film was my first love. Like, I started making films before YouTube. But I am equally as passionate about YouTube as I am film. And I think kind of when I was at university, I kind of neglected YouTube a little bit because I was around people that didn't really consider content creation like on par to film in a way. And so I think it was really exciting to go and actually film something for someone else, like a big project, because I've never done that specifically before. I've always made my own content. I've always made films, but helping someone bring like a much bigger piece of content on YouTube to life was really exciting.
It was so ambitious, man. I think it was like ridiculously ambitious. And I think the funny thing is we did that whilst also in the process of making a film, which of course we'll talk about later in the podcast.
Yeah.
It's quite funny that like, but I think it was at that time where obviously the video came out relatively recently, but when we filmed it, it was like when Doctor Who was kind of like doing really well.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I really want to make more Doctor Who content again. And you plan this big thing and record it, and then the show's kind of whatever now. So it's sort of a weird
understatement.
It's sort of a weird kind of artifact of that kind of time where there's a lot of love and motivation and like creative kind of passion. I loved making that. But I just think I can't have a thing. It's like, as someone who's in YouTube and you quite like doing YouTube stuff yourself, how was it kind of going from being in front of the camera to sort of having to be a more quiet participant of a video like that? Because I noticed actually there's some moments where you do get some great jokes in, and they do make the cut because they're great. Yeah. But you're not like mic'd up and not actually in a lot of the video, but you're there for all of it. And I think that it's in times it's very easy to forget that you're like there watching the video, but it can't go on the stage. It was a trio making that video that day, and it was
and I think you kind of always have to like accept your part in a project, right? And I think like, you know, I did like cinematography as my kind of main like major, I guess, when I did my MSc in film at Greenwich Uni, and I've always been really into being behind the camera, and I love controlling, you know, the aspects of filming which mean that it looks visually nice. But I think that YouTube is kind of almost nice to kind of take a step back from that. And I think like when you're out and about, it's raining. It was heavily raining.
I was going to say this. One of my favorite clips from that video is the brief clip of Euan with a coat or whatever over his head, holding the camera, like sort of like Hobbit,
trying to explain that visual, like a sort of like Edwardian with like a little like lamp in the night, sort of crouched over a little bit.
It was fun for me because I was behind the camera. I could look like that. Whereas I felt bad for Josh, who had just come from holiday, was wearing a white t-shirt and shorts. I was absolutely soaked, and I don't know why
he did that though, because we all look back and we go, haha, Josh dressed for the wrong weather. The forecast said it would rain. The forecast said it was gonna thunder and lightning for like 3 hours while we were out in the cold. And bless him, like he got. white t-shirt and shorts. And he, before we'd even pressed record for the first time, he got annihilated by a puddle that a car went through. Absolutely soaked. And I was just like, oh God, we haven't even started yet. So before, even though there's a little bit of drizzly rain at the beginning, it hadn't actually been that bad, the weather, but Josh was soaked.
I think that's also the advantage of doing it in London is like if you walk on with a camera and like a hoodie over your head, no one bats an eye. But if you did that up north, if you did that in Newcastle, everyone would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I said it in the video. It's like it's sort of, it looks really strange, but we're in central London and everyone looks really strange, so it's fine.
There are more niche things that happen in London, you know, that take people's eyes. But I think what a positive attitude from Josh, though. Like he did not complain.
Bearing in mind, I'd only met him in person once before that.
Mad.
Yeah, that's wild to me. Like you worked together so well.
It was a very good rapport that I think has been built up over many, many podcast recordings on his channel. But yeah, no, crazy. What's going off that? What's the weirdest thing you've seen in London, Euan? Go on.
Oh my God.
What's weirder than you with a camera?
Me with a camera?
Yeah. Not much.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much about Wingman, but like, you know, the king.
We didn't get that on camera, so we could talk about that.
Yeah. So there was a man. So obviously, like, bear in mind, you know, Wingman. We've got a man in borderline nearly a nappy and basically wings.
Yeah.
And then we're thinking, oh God, everyone's going to be looking. And then lo and behold, Camden NPCs. We've got
we went to Camden to film a bit, and it was just
he was like crown, like long flowing cape, and he's
fantastic.
just walking, and he just sort of nods, and he's like, "Oh, I love the outfit."
It was like the most majestic thing I've ever seen, and I was so disheartened that we weren't rolling when he walked past. It was just he had like a crown and like a gown, and it was the way he was walking. He was very like.
Bro's like 10 stops away from the Hamilton Theatre as well. That's bro is lost.
And not even on that same shoot. I'm sure there was the drunk guy, wasn't there?
Oh
who was singing, like some just pissed up man that we managed to get on camera. I don't think that'll end up in the final film,
Maybe
but
not,
it was quite good for the behind the scenes reel. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there are weirder people in London.
I think that it's hard to pick a favorite or just like a most notable thing that happens in London, because I think every week something different happens. Like, especially like, you know, being in Camden quite a lot. And I live in southeast of London as well. I feel like both of those places, unusual occurrences happen quite a lot.
I've been to your house once, and on the way there, I had multiple strange experiences. So I back that.
Which is obviously like, I think like a very like new experience. I mean, I'm sure probably the same for both of you coming from the north. Like I come from Dartmoor, like, you know, in the middle of nowhere. And I think
I kind of imagine, like, I don't know if I've actually been to Dartmoor, and I only kind of imagine it as like a field and like a big posh country house or something, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of that really. I mean, big field.
If there's one thing you give is Downton Abbey.
There's not really much there, really, because it's a National Trust site, so it's like you're not really allowed to build on. No.
Grade 1 listed.
I was going to say, the one member of this like posh kind of aristocratic family that goes to film school and comes back.
No. Like I actually feel a little bit weird because my mum's moved now, and she's got a really nice fancy house. So now it feels like the stereotype makes sense. Whereas I didn't grow up with that. I grew up, you know, sharing a bedroom, you know, a bunk bed, very small house. And then now, you know, I feel like my mum's made it. You know, she's worked really hard. She's got this really nice house, and now it's like, if you know you come back to see my family, George, you're going to be like, oh, this is exactly how I imagined.
Yeah. This is going to be like, this is the perspective. Shout out to Euan's mum.
My mum. She did donate quite a lot to Wingman.
She did. So, huge shout out. Huge shout out to Sharon.
Yeah, she'll definitely be watching this. So shout out to my mum. She's always funded my camera equipment. She's been she works in education, so I think that she's always been very happy to support like my kind of creative arts. So like nearly all of my cameras have been, or lenses have been like somehow funded.
We wouldn't have been able to do Wingman without her specific funding.
For sure,
Not only did she donate to Wingman, but she also then give you basically all the money to kind of get all this like extra equipment that you needed, and it was just like, we're really, really grateful.
We stand parents who support the creative industries.
Yeah, we do.
In this house, we love.
Yeah, I think it's always nice to, I'm sure it's the same for both of you, but like having like a creative hobby and like someone to support you, because it's like I think I'm quite stubborn as well. So I think if my mum didn't support me, I still would have gone ahead and
that's more sort of me. I think my mum told me to quit YouTube when I was doing my GCSE. She was like, "You need to do something proper," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take a pause." And then it started, and then I started doing Doctor Who news, and it started earning a bit of money, and I was like, "Hey, I don't need a job now." It's like, we're laughing.
She was like, money.
Yeah, 30p of that. Yeah, come on.
Mine was a similar experience, but I had to do a degree in physics to be able to get to
I was going to say,
that I was allowed to go and work in a creative industry.
You kind of did your service, really.
I did my time.
You did your time, and it was like, right, I've done it now.
There's
I feel like
I can do. Like,
do we think there is like a sort of code for anyone who wants to go into the creative industry? They have to do normal stuff first to justify.
Yeah,
I was the complete opposite. I mean, I did media studies at GCSE, and around that time, I kind of really fell in love with film. I mean, I had been making films since I think my mum gifted me my first. It was like a £30 camcorder when I think I was 9 years old. So, and then like my second one was the 3DS camera. I made 3D movies. So
hell yeah,
hard as fuck. We were tempted to use that for Wingman.
I was gonna say there's a niche there, boys. There's something there.
Yeah, I loved making films growing up, but I did media studies at GCSE, and then after that, I went to a grammar school, which it doesn't really help the vision that you guys
not being
have.
allegations here, like.
I know, exactly, yeah.
But I didn't pay for it. So yeah, I went to a grammar school, and they weren't very supportive of creative arts. It was very elitist, very academic. And
my actual school was like that, so it's not
I was going to say, I think our school was like that.
Yeah,
as well, wasn't it? As soon as I was I want to do media for uni, and they were like, "Fuck off!" Then I don't care.
I think and it was the same for like my brother's 13 years older than me, and when I was really young, he was at university doing media studies, and my mum always really hated that whenever she would tell someone. Because obviously it was so much of a newer thing back then, even compared to when we were younger doing it, that it was kind of like turning your noses up a bit. So I think when I kind of was inspired by my brother, he made documentaries when he was in uni. He did like a documentary on parkour, and I've got it on DVD, and that was probably one of the biggest inspirations for me. And so I wanted to do A-levels, but the problem with A-levels is that you have to pick specific things. It's like, if you do geography, you can't do history. If you do English, like literature, you can't do maths.
That's the thing it's so annoying. Like, especially nowadays, like my sister's busy. She finished her GCSEs last year. She's doing creative media at college. And like, it was just such a rigmarole of like, oh, you have to do this. But then my mom was like, no, she's not doing this. Like, they were trying to force her to make a language. She could barely speak English. So, like, they were like, I love it a bit. She's just terrible. She could barely speak English. They were like, you need to, like, and my sister was like, I'm not doing a language. Like, she did drama and all that kind of stuff. But it was like, and especially when I was in school, I was very much, the moment I started doing semi-decent in like maths and science and stuff like that, they were just like, that's all you've got to do. They were like, don't bother with, because I used to love drama. I used to be a massive drama kid. I used to love the media stuff, like, but I was so driven away with it. And the moment they start, because none of my immediate family have been to university, like I was the first. The moment they start waving university, degrees, all this kind of stuff, like everybody almost gets like, it's almost like entranced by it. Everyone starts saying like, oh my God, you can go to university, this, that, and the other.
But to jump back to the sort of YouTube side of it, obviously we did the Battles in Time stuff.
Yeah.
I want to just touch a little bit upon this because I don't think we talked about it on the start a bit. Thoughts on the new range from what you've seen? Because I don't think I've talked about it yet.
No, you haven't, which I'm very surprised.
Are you aware of this, Cooper? Before we go off completely. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice.
I think the first product they released, not great. And then I think that the second kind of like announcement of like, we're going to actually do a set. I like the idea. I mean, like Battles in Time was I collected that when I was younger. My friend Ryan that I live with, he's huge into Doctor Who. He would wear the tweed jackets, the bow ties.
Still does.
Yeah, still. He's progressed out of that now, but he collected them as well. So I think, there's definitely, I think, a niche audience that really, really want this. But I do think it seems like a little bit of a cash grab. Because they've kind of it's been so long that you think that they would kind of go all the way and we're going to put our heart and soul into this. But yeah, the fact that you can only buy a booster box, you can't buy individual packs. It's probably not going to be down the news agents.
Crazy.
That you can buy for £1.50. I mean, obviously, it was never going to be as cheap as it used to be, right?
I just think for the value of it, though, I just think it's This is where I struggle, right? When it's like when it's like an action figure or something. But this is where my disconnect is with trading card games. I think that for a piece of card. There has to be an invented value for that. And if that invented value is there, great. Sell it for what it's worth. Pokemon, you can get away with that because it's Pokemon. But with Doctor Who Battles in Time, it hasn't existed since 2009.
Yeah.
It's a new team who are bringing it back, and they are charging industry standard prices for it. It's understandable, but go back to old Battles in Time. I guarantee you can look at some Pokemon cards that were released right around the time that the first Battles in Time wave was, right? You can probably sell them online for quite a bit, right? They're probably worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
The only, most Doctor Who Battles in Time cards are worthless, bar Super Rose, which is the only actual rare one they ever made. So why, again, are we charging industry standard stuff for something that's going to be worthless? When I buy a Doctor Who action figure or something, like the new Cyberman set that's come out and is now sold out, they said they're never making those again. That's worth something because it was so limited. With this, how do you get the balance right? How do you get it where it's accessible in shops and you can buy packs of it, but also
the other thing,
having value on it?
The other thing I think
really
you have to
tricky.
take into account, especially with Battles in Time compared to stuff like Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece card game, whatever, is so let's say when the One Piece TCG came out, I mean, I could be wrong. I would argue One Piece is a bigger brand than Doctor Who is. And it was kind of inevitable.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
It was kind of inevitable that the One Piece TCG...
They're never going to cancel One Piece, let's be honest. It's on over 1,000 episodes.
They do say it's the Doctor Who is the British One Piece. That's the British joke that I've seen.
Yeah. I like to say that One Piece... Grey's Anatomy is like a white woman's One Piece.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of the
But it's when One Piece released, it was it's going to be popular enough that you're going to have a competitive trading card game. You're going to have local national tournaments. I can't imagine Battles in Time having some international, maybe not even regional, local.
But that's the tricky thing. There's nothing. But back when the first range came out, it was a thing where it was the right target audience. It was in news agents. You could take them into school. You could do trading things. You could build binders with them. Right. They've now reset the numbering. They've now thrown in shiny cards that aren't rare. They've kind of messed up a little bit what the format is, and whatever reason, I get the reason they're doing it, right? But the bottom line is they're trying to make money, and they will make money because Doctor Who fans will buy it. I just can't justify buying it because I just think it doesn't feel like the same.
I do think it's crazy only doing booster boxes and not being able to buy singles.
It is crazy. That being said, I don't know if you've seen the company that have done them have made custom cards for some influencers and sent them out, and I am a little bit jealous that we didn't get looking for that one.
That is cool.
Yeah, they did send out
that's pretty cool.
George Clarkey got one.
Oh, really?
George, if you can look on his Instagram or something, check it out. He's got a video where he basically, because he's talked about Doctor Who Battles in Time cards in the past.
Yeah.
He got sent one by the new company to kind of advertise it, and it's him in the TARDIS, and it has all his stats and whatever, and it's a shiny card.
Cool.
And I'm that's pretty cool. Actually.
And he's called George as well, so it's you weren't even first in line George that likes Doctor Who.
Obviously, if it's between me and George Clarkey, I haven't been on Strictly Come Dancing, my guy. I haven't played in the Sidemen charity match.
That does sound like a skill issue.
Maybe if you still did the news story, the news show.
Yeah. If I still did Doctor Who news, if I still covered it. If I still make that's the whole thing. You get punished whenever you take time off.
Yeah,
people love the pub crawl, but not enough to get me some shiny cardboard.
Yeah,
you know.
You and I have to ask about Pokemon and TCG because I feel like Pokemon is so massive nowadays, and especially the TCG is like compared to when I was a kid, like it's unbelievable. And I feel like whenever I ask people who collect the cards and stuff nowadays, there's like a million different like origin stories. It's like people who didn't grow up with Pokemon but have gotten to the TCG because they've started collecting. People who have kids who've started collecting it, so they've started collecting it. What is your origins with Pokemon and with Pokemon TCG?
Good question.
So it goes back a long, long time. I have been into Pokemon, I think, since I was about 4 years old.
I'm the same age, yeah.
It's sort of the way I was introduced. I've got a friend called Ollie, and he like our brothers went to school together, and then we went to school together. But he was a few years older than me.
Yeah,
and he was like the person that kind of like gave me all of my special interests. And then we kind of later found out, we had a conversation a few years ago, and we kind of both realized like that we never knew we were both neurodivergent. But he kind of gave me a copy of Pokemon Silver to play.
Yeah.
And that's why my favorite Pokemon is Lugia, because, you know, it's my first game. So I got into it because of that. And then I think from there on, it just kind of, I fell into like full blown like Pokemania.
Yeah.
Like I would go to car boot sales a lot growing up with my mum and my nan.
Yeah.
And it was great because I'd bump into like a great aunt, and she'd give me like £1 coin. She'd be like, don't spend it all at once. And I would like bolt to like the nearest like vendor that was selling anything Pokemon. It genuinely didn't matter what it was. It could have been a video, like a VHS tape, a figure, like a game. It didn't matter what it was. I was obsessed with Pokemon. I think it combines a few different interests that I have. Like one of them is collecting. I'm a big collector. I love collecting. You know, it's just that kind of, it's deep seated within me to enjoy collecting. I love collecting. I was also really, really big into nature and animals growing up.
Really?
One of my biggest interests, like growing up in Dartmoor, like my mum would take me to like
to your communal gardens, to your giant, your
stables.
No, we go to like Cadover Bridge, and like she'd let me I'd like get like tadpoles, and she'd let me take them home, and I'd like study them and like write about them and take photos of them. And then when there were frogs, I would take them back. My mum she found like a cocoon in the back garden of the school she worked at. She brought it home, and she was like, oh, you can, we'll set it free when it becomes, a moth or a butterfly. And it became, you can look this up afterwards, but it was an elephant hawk moth. And that is like a fluffy, bright pink moth. Beautiful. So I love animals. I love nature. I was really, really big into that. So I think the fact that like most Pokemon are based on wildlife, I think that kind of appeals to me. I think the artistic design of Pokemon as well, and watching the anime growing up, it's incredibly wholesome. It's a really wholesome like adventure. When you really look into it, like young child at 10 years old goes off to like capture wild animals.
You've got to like watch it with ignorance, don't you? Because it's it's there's some dark moments in it as well. It's like and I've always loved Pokemon. It's never gone away. It's like one of those special interests that like I've had since I was a child, and it's never going to go anywhere. And the cards were no exception to that. I loved collecting the cards. I was given hand-me-down cards a lot, because Pokemon cards used to be a lot cheaper, but growing up, it's like, getting like a singular pack like on your birthday. I remember my mum put it was like a birthday box this big, and she put a singular pack in it, and it's like the best feeling in the world to open a pack when you're younger, because it doesn't come around often. Nowadays it's like my roommate and I would be like, oh, we only have 36 packs to open. God, might as well not even open them. So I think that
I like the description almost being like, I'm imagining like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Do you know, like when he's like, oh my God, a chocolate bar on his birthday.
And it looks like this, it's like
just sitting on the desk.
And he's got them on his desk.
Got it, So and now
didn't even have it prepared for the podcast. He just has them in reaching distance wherever he is in the house.
I actually did open opened one of these packs with the pyro on the front. It's a lion. I opened it. We went to the pub to watch the England-Croatia game, and basically just opened a pack every time England scored. Thank God it wasn't like was it England-Ghana, where they didn't score at all. We didn't get to open any packs that night. That was very, very depressing. I think we did open one pack just out of like solidarity, like for ourselves. But yeah, Pokemon is always been my shtick. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of hobbies, right? And a lot of interests. I think that's something that I struggle with, you know, the kind of analysis paralysis of, you know, you want to do everything. I think I'm sure it's the same for you, Cooper, but I know for sure it's the same with George, because we talk about it all the time. We're like, George is like, you know, I'm really burnt out because I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing a film, and I'm doing this and that. And it's the same for me. I want to do everything. I'm interested in it. I want to learn everything. But I think Pokemon is one of those interests that just never wavers for me. Like, it's always in the background. It's always a comfort. It's always safe. It's always there. And it always will be. Yeah. Biggest franchise in the world. Yeah. What about you, Cooper? What are your experiences with Pokemon? I'm a
similar... Unfortunately, so I was 4 years old as well, but one of my earliest memories is playing like Diamond and Pearl on my original DS. I was too young I was just out of the Game Boy era. I just missed it. It's unfortunate because I don't remember like what my origins are of Pokemon. I don't remember where it was that I saw a Pokemon game for the first time or saw Pokemon for the first time. Like, I just remember, as far as I can remember, I've always played Pokemon.
It's always been there, yeah.
And it's always been like it was always the same thing. It was mainly the games and the show for me. A lot of the games, like all I used to do growing up was play the games. Like, I remember like my mom would like take me out of school for a dentist appointment to go and pick up like the new Pokemon games and stuff on their release day. Like, it was just like always there. But then my TCG went more the Yu-Gi-Oh route because I discovered Yu-Gi-Oh from watching the anime again. Yeah. And then as much as I did collect Pokemon, I probably collected more Yu-Gi-Oh because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh growing up as well. Like, I used to go and I did some like local tournaments and stuff like that and used to play with a lot of friends in school. And then most recently, in the last couple of weeks, I have transcended and gone down the slippery slope of Magic the Gathering, unfortunately.
There's a Doctor Who Magic the Gathering.
There is a Doctor Who Magic the Gathering set.
I talked about it with Troy on his podcast, and he was telling me how expensive it was, and I was like, I just don't get it.
It is
I understand,
slippery
there is value
slope
there, but I'm almost like, why? I guess it's cool to have them, right? It hasn't hit me. Like, my only kind of experience with it is Battles in Time, and I can understand like the collector's sort of thing, but when it's that extortionate and he's considering forking out God knows how much just to get a card with the shoot you get on it.
I will say it is quite funny, like, because I've been like watching Magic the Gathering YouTube videos and stuff. Like, I'd be watching like the most random people play the most random decks, and all of a sudden it'll just be like, bang, Danny Pink jump scare. Like, just a random Doctor Who card in a random deck, like just out of nowhere. Like, and it's quite funny seeing like random characters from Doctor Who being like, they're actually a really good card. Like, they're actually like a good, like, solid staple.
I'd love them to try and get to the level of sort of nonsensical that Battles in Time did, where like you got like a Magic the Gathering like pickled egg card.
Scratch and sniff.
That's unreal, man. Honestly.
But yeah, like Pokemon has always just been
it's pungent.
Pokemon has just always been like, I play every game. I've played every. Unfortunately, I am in the Nintendo run where I will buy every console because the Pokemon games will come out on them and I will play them. Like, I bought a Switch 2, played Pokopia. I have played. I loved Legends Z. X and Y was like, I grew up. I played thousands of hours of X and Y, so getting to go back to Lumios and stuff was fantastic. But yeah, Winds and Waves, I will play on day one. Like, when I was at university, I did like a midnight release for it. I pre-ordered it at the game that was at my, like, around the corner from where I lived, and went to midnight to go and pick it up because I'd never done that before. And that was a great experience.
It's interesting as well because a few things we talked about there are like, you know, midnight releases. Right? I did them a lot growing up when I was in secondary school. And then the other thing is, you know, when your mum goes and takes you to buy a copy, and she's like, oh, I need to pop into Sainsbury's. And you're just in the back of the car, like, I don't want to come in. You're just reading the manual. You know, looking at the back, studying it, analyzing it. It's like, obviously, Sony have recently announced that they're going to be getting rid of physical copies in 2028. And I think, you know, there's a lot of children that are going to grow up and they're not going to have those experiences that we had. And of course, you can look at it from like a materialist aspect of like, you know, it is just, something physical, and we should be grateful for what we have. But I do think that there are a lot of nostalgic memories growing up.
You said the thing. I think it's a disgrace. I think it's I don't understand, because I get the only positive it could have is being just beneficial for the company, because it locks anyone out of owning anything ever. Like the idea of owning digital games for me is like, okay, cool. I've had so many times in the past where I've bought a game physically. I've not really enjoyed it and I've not really played it. So I took it to CEX and I got 30 quid back for it, and I can spend it on something else, right? Because I've bought that and I own that. So then I can then sell that again if I want, or I can lend it to my friend to play it if I want to do that. With digital, once you've bought it, you don't own it. Yeah. You don't own it because you can't own it because you can't sell it. You can't sell it or give it to anyone else or lend it to. You don't own that. You're renting it. You're borrowing it from a company, and that to me feels inherently wrong. I mean, we've talked about it for the last over a year with GTA 6, Cooper. Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered it.
Really?
No, because what's the fucking point? Why am I pre-ordering a game that comes out in November when I'm not getting any? The pre-order bonus. I'll pre-order it a week before it comes out. Yeah, it's not going to run out of stock. It's digital. I'm buying a box with a code in it, and I'm not even going to get that because they're not doing that for the Ultimate Edition. I miss the days when you buy a GTA game and they've got a bloody map in the box. Yeah, look, you even get the game now.
I think it's
ridiculous.
I think this is partly like the death of high streets as well, as it's like you'll never have the even like buying consoles and stuff now. Like you'll never have the experience because everybody just orders them online now. You'll never have the experience of going into a game or into whatever and going to buy a console. Like when I bought all my original Xboxes, that was in store. I remember saving the money and paying in cash for an Xbox 360 and Xbox One. I remember going into a game. I had the limited edition X and Y 3DS, the blue one with Xerneas on the front. I remember going to go and pick it up with Pokemon X on the day from the game that was in Eldon Square in Newcastle. Like that's like a massive thing for me, but it's just not a thing anymore. And it's just such a shame that for midnight releases now, I pre-downloaded the day before. Yeah, it's great to be able to pre-download it the day before. Don't get me wrong.
Well, this is the thing with modern games is that they're so big that you can't.
I sit at my desk and I wait until the clock hits midnight. Yeah. It's not like I have to go and pick it up or whatever. Like it's just.
Well, as I said before we started recording, I spent last night with my girlfriend playing Nintendo Wii. And I can't describe to you the joy of putting in a new game and just being able to play it straight away. Yeah. Instead of having to wait 3 hours for it to download first or having to pre-install anything. Now, I understand that's just where we're at, is the complexity of these games. It's going to take up hundreds of gigabytes of storage to be able to run it. But it just adds to it, and we're going in that direction. And I hope Xbox don't follow suit. They haven't yet. No, I was worried they would to kind of compete, but I'm almost expecting, given the backlash, they'll actually sit back and actually double down on the disc releases. Yeah,
maybe.
Which I hope they do. But YouTube. I want to talk about the Hobbycast. Yeah, yours and your friend Ryan's YouTube channel, where you do a lot of Pokemon stuff. You do sort of unboxings, you do sort of binders, which the binders are like the thing that interests me the most. Again, like Pokemon isn't my sort of thing, right? But I've loved seeing your creative process with like the binder videos and how successful they've been, but also how fun they've been to kind of develop the ideas for, right? Yeah. So take us through like how you started the channel, what the sort of conception of it was, and kind of how it's developed over time.
So Ryan and I are very similar to the both of you, that we grew up together. I've known him since I was 11 years old, and we helped each other make content for our own YouTube channels. Very, very like reminiscent of like Dan and Phil and like Smosh, like real cringy videos. But we never had like a collaborative project. And then it was the pandemic. I believe it was 2020. We wanted to do something together. This was around the time that Sword and Shield. So for George, like a generation of Pokemon is kind of like a new Doctor. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. I get that.
That is a fantastic you know, when
analogy. When people put like news on Twitter and they're like, "Can someone explain this in football terms?" It's like, I need that.
Mate, that is Doctor Who. That might be one of the best analogies I've ever heard. Like that is fantastic.
I'm pretty good at translation because Ryan, he loves Pokemon the same as me.
Yeah.
And if I need to explain to him, if someone else is talking, let's say we're at the pub, someone else is talking about something like, we're at the pub recently and they were, two people were talking about Elden Ring and he didn't understand. And I was like, so in Pokemon terms, so I'm quite used to doing that translation. But yeah, we wanted to do something together. You know, as a new generation of Pokemon out, we were sort of we've always been into the card game, but obviously like growing up and you know you don't quite have the money to sort of like buy every set and you know every generation. We did my mum knows this and so does Ryan's mum, but they would give us like money to buy like food for lunch at school, and we basically just wouldn't spend the money. At the weekend we'd go into town, we'd buy it was the second set of XY Flash Fire.
Amazing.
We just spend like 20 quid each on Pokemon cards. And so we've always kind of had this shared love of Pokemon. We wanted to do something with it. We wanted to create content. So we had quite an ambitious start, to be honest, because George has been in this room. We have a spare room in our house. It's a 5-bedroom house, but there's only 4 of us, and it's not licensed for 5 people. So we had a literal empty room, no furniture in it at all. We were like, let's create a podcast room. So, you know, we ordered these mics, you know, the Shure SM7B. We had to go to the other side of London to order a table because you couldn't order it online in IKEA. You had to go to the store, order it. So we had this big table. We got the IKEA, like the Kallax shelves. We put that in the background, put like, you know, some plants. And we were like, right, let's create a podcast. We called it a Hobbycast because initially it was going to be not just Pokemon, it was going to be all of our hobbies, including things like Lego.
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that video, mate.
We made a Mandalorian season 1 review and discussion video. So we did do a little bit. And then we also did record a Lego advent calendar video, but it was on a hard drive and the hard drive broke. So it never saw the light of day. So that's why on the Hobbycast banner until recently, where we rebranded, it had loads of Lego in it.
It's always like my big question was there's like Lego Star Wars character, and I was like, when's that coming?
So obviously, like we had the room, we had the equipment, so like let's make videos. The first few videos were very podcast like. You know, we just we discussed things from Pokemon to hobbies. And then as we were kind of getting back into Pokemon TCG, we started doing opening videos. And so we started opening, you know, all the sets and, you know, we started doing that for years. After a few years of doing it on and off, because we're a lot more consistent with videos now than we used to be, we kind of just got to a point where, you know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. We were getting like 100 to 200 views, which we were very grateful for, but we were never ever breaking that. And I kind of one day just sort of sat down with Ryan and I said, like, we've got to try something different. So what we're going to do is 1 video a month is going to be completely different from anything we do. Because the problem with opening videos is if you're trying to do the same thing as everyone else, and you're not really offering anything different, you're not really going to get anywhere. And so the openings weren't doing very well. And I came up with this idea to do long form binder content, because at this time I was seeing loads of people on short form content do like, let's do like a cute pink binder. Here are all the cards you could use. But I looked on YouTube and actually no one was making long form videos where they were like creating a binder in front of the camera. So I said, let's do that. We're going to do a cute pink one because I saw this trend of like, here are all the cards that like my girlfriend collects, and it was all like the cute pink cards, and it was like really, really popular. And you know, like Ryan and I, you know, we like our like, you know, our cute pink aesthetic. So we were like, right, let's go for this. And the first binder video that we did, I think it's sitting on 72,000 views.
72,000. Yeah, I've got it up there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. He's doing your fact check.
Hey, I'm pulling it up.
Love to see it. So yeah, that did really well, and that just kind of and it was really nice to know that it's like it wasn't like we had to do loads of different videos for ages. We kind of lucked out really with like the first different video format we tried. It was a success. And so we really just locked in on doing creative binders because we receive comments, you know, on the Hobbycast, you know, sometimes paragraphs of people saying like how glad they are that there's this type of creative content where we're not talking about the monetary value of the card. We're not talking about rarity. We're simply saying these cards look really nice. Look at the artwork. Look at the Pokemon that's on there. Like, you know, it's my favorite Pokemon. And we're creating an aesthetic. And a lot of people watch our content so that they can do the same at home. You know, you get so many comments saying like, oh, I really wanted to do a binder like this. Like, thank you for all the recommendations of the different cards I could use. So I think, you know, I don't know how much you know, but like the hobby has been in a bit of a negative space for a few years. You know, there was a big thing with Logan Paul. Logan Paul brought this hype during the pandemic. You know, it brought eyes to the hobby.
He's a scourge on the TCG community. I will say that.
He is, you know, something on the boot of my shoe. He is just...
You can say it.
He's shit on the boot of my shoe. There we go. He kind of ruined the hobby for a lot of people because he is a LARPer. He just... he is, like, he's a LARPer. He just cares about the monetary aspect. And it's like, I don't doubt that he's into Pokemon, right? You know, because it's the biggest franchise. And like, he probably played the games growing up. He probably enjoyed it. But he framed it in this way where it was, you know, it brought everyone, it brought a lot of scalpers basically buying the products, selling it immediately for double the price. Even now, you cannot find, I could go down to Smith's right now. There's a Smith's fairly near where I live. And you can't find product. And it's really sad because, I mean, luckily I'm an adult with adult money and it's like, I can go to a card show or I can, you know, try and pre-order a set or just go to a local card show. For kids, like growing up the same way I did, it's not great because I'll be walking around card shows and I hear kids going like, oh my God, like I just pulled this card. It's worth £30. And when we were kids, we didn't even know they had monetary values. Like, genuinely didn't know that they were worth anything. And so it is really sad. But I think that it's really nice that we've kind of gone the other way in terms of content. We've gone for the other direction where we try to kind of offer a safe space for people who are truly into the hobby, that truly enjoy it, that don't really care about the monetary aspect, and they just want to make cool binders. They want to open packs because they love it. And I think we've done just that. I'm really proud of like the both of us for being able to kind of, you know, kind of go away from that aspect of the hobby and also like offer something new to people that don't know that you can enjoy it in that way. Because we've done some wacky concepts for binders. Like we really try and push the boat out on like what kind of aesthetics that we did. Like initially it was like pink or like, oh, we're doing a water binder. But now like the last 3 binders we did dinosaur, then dark fantasy, and the last one that was most recently up was cyberpunk.
Very cool.
So we love thinking of like really these really cool aesthetics.
I love the thumbnail of the dark fantasy one, and I think you have a lot of fun with making them, don't you?
I do.
You get to sort of you've got like a format for the binder videos. You've got either one of you on a side. You've got the binder, you've got like different font for the title every time. And then you get to have a think about what costume you want to put yourself in.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I do have to kind of motivate Ryan a little bit to wear funny costumes. But he's a very willing participant in the end. For the dinosaur binder, I was like, we're going to have to go full on paleontologist. We're going to get the hat. We're going to get, you can actually see.
Full like Jurassic Park, like
I love buying things like this for the videos because it's just so much fun. And I think we love to go in on the theme. You know, it's like we try and match our outfits to the theme. We try and match the colored background. So like on the top down camera, Hobbycraft down the road, they know me because every like couple weeks I'm going down to buy a new piece of colored cardboard. And it must be really weird for the people that work there because I don't buy anything different, and I feel like they probably wonder what I'm doing with this colored cardboard because like every 2 weeks I'm like, purple one please, red one, orange one, and that's the only thing I buy from there. We try and go all in because I think that we've got the room and the equipment, and like everyone is always commenting saying like, oh, this is so professional for how many subscribers you've got. And I think we really want to offer quality. I think definitely in an age of slop, we kind of want to really offer like videos that actually provide something and are just a little bit different, really.
It's like fun, and it's creative, and it's sort of, you're trying to do stuff that's different.
Yeah.
It clearly appeals to people. But yeah, it's I love it. And the thing is, like, I'm not into Pokemon, but I love what you're doing with it, and like we talk about it creatively all the time.
I love I love like the binder thing. Like I see videos of like binder stuff of just like wholesome people just being like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to collect every Clefairy card that exists.
Yeah.
Like it's such a genius idea. Like
every they always say like every Pokemon is someone's favorite. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, and there's over 1,000 of them, and I really love that everyone does have a different favorite and a different way to kind of engage with the hobby. Like everyone enjoys it differently. Like I also kind of collected Yu-Gi-Oh growing up and played it. You know, I'm into One Piece as well. I've been collecting the One Piece TCG, and it is interesting though, because I think we are getting to a point with TCGs where even though I love the artwork and I love playing the TCGs, I love collecting, it's hard to ignore how much some of these cards are worth sometimes. Like, it's like I've not sold any of my cards, maybe like one or two here and there when I just need a little bit of extra money for food for the month. But most of my collection I've never sold. I've got, cards that I had growing up, like all the cards that we've opened up on the Hobbycast. I've still got. You
collect them for different reasons. It's like, because the Pokemon TCG I never played, so I still do, like every once in a while I'll be out with friends or something. Like we were working a couple of weeks ago, and the garage down the road had Pokemon cards in. So we were like, every lunchtime we would go and walk to the garage and buy some Pokemon cards and open them up on set. Like but that's the thing, like Pokemon is like something I'll just like see and I'll be like, oh, I just fancy, like a lot of the time when I'm traveling, like if I stop at a service station and they have them in, I'll be like, oh, I'll get one or two. Like, whereas stuff with like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh especially, I don't really buy the packs anymore. I buy more of the singles or boxes because I play it more competitively than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's something that I quite enjoy about the binders is that we buy singles for those videos. It's like, and it is cheaper. It's so much cheaper to just buy the card that you want versus gambling, essentially.
Taking the risk of not getting,
Yeah, and I think it's like, it is fun that everyone enjoys the hobby in a different way. You can play it. There's actually a Magic the Gathering pop-up in London at the moment, and you would love it. It's only on until end of tomorrow, end of Sunday, sorry. Oh, wait, that is tomorrow. Okay. But you can, I think one thing that's really cool about it is that you can take there's a selfie booth, and the photo that it prints, it turns it into a card.
That is
like
very
a Magic
sick, actually.
Which is really,
Magic,
really cool.
like I've been playing with friends, like it's not just been buying the card, because I've always wanted to try it, but it's a card game that I would never have just collected the cards. As much as there are cool like collaborations and all that kind of stuff, like I would never just collect the cards. I've always wanted to try and play it, and because I'm playing it, I kind of justify it because it is kind of like a hobby with it.
Yeah,
I'd love to sit you down with all the Pokemon cards I've collected over the years and see what you think. Because I've got some ancient cards.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly love like being able to like go through people's collections together. Like we were actually fortunate enough on the channel. My mum's like co-worker, like his wife found a vintage, like her, like I think it was like when she was like 11 or 12. She's older than us, so like she would have been like around the time of Pokemania. She found a binder full of base set, jungle, fossil, and
unbelievable.
They sent it up to me, and I have that binder in the Hobbycast room.
It's like a dream of mine to go to like a car boot sale and find somebody who is like just selling like their kids' cards or something like that. Or, like, and it's just like an absolute gold mine. Like,
I mean, like, car boots are the best, man. Like, it's harder to find because even when you go to car boots, they understand the monetary value. They're selling it for a lot of money, which is really annoying.
They're in like vintage stores now. I've seen like when I went to Brighton, there's like antique stores where they've got like the cards behind glass, and I'm like, oh my god, they really. It's caught on that they understand that it's money now. You know what I mean?
And I think it goes to show how much Ryan and I love the hobby and the cards, because everyone is always telling us like, oh man, like the cards are worth so much money, you should sell them, and we're just like, oh, but we don't want to. We like them. It's like collectively, Ryan and I have about £40,000 worth of cards, and we refuse to sell them because then we wouldn't own them, and we really enjoy looking for them. And it's a hobby, and it's a very privileged position to be in, a place where I can refuse to sell something worth that much.
I heard HMRC's ears prick up there.
Yeah. I mean, but the vendors, they're like, they are avoiding tax a lot. There is, I'm pretty sure I read something about I think it was the Chinese mafia at one point were using Pokemon cards to
I think I've heard
money
this as well.
That would have been a fantastic just news story.
Fantastic just news story, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. If people haven't already subscribed to the Hobbycast, obviously it's going to be in the description below. Go and check it out, or just search the Hobbycast on YouTube. Go and give them some love, and go and watch the videos, and leave them running. Get the watch time up.
Before we transition to our break, I've actually pulled out a small collection of cards. I have tins on tins on tins of cards, but these are I don't know where I got this little book from, but this is just every once in a while I'll have a card that I'm like, ooh, that's cool, or I really like that one, and I'll just put it in here just as I can quickly pull it out. So I recently pulled from the newest set the Full Art Xerneas and Mega Flabébé. I have no idea where they are. They're somewhere deep in my car because I was on location filming. I need to find them. So one of the most recent ones, I don't know if you can see on the camera,
Sarah Edge illustration rare from Sergeant Fox.
There you go, bro. Gorgeous card. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I've got some ones from when I was a kid. I have the one of the Espeon gym leader ones.
The SPs.
Yeah. Just some random. I've got loads of the V cards. I had the Moltres, the Galarian Moltres V Full Art. That I sold for a fair amount of money. Only sold it because I had nothing to do with it. I have the box art. Terra Charizard. I pulled the shiny.
I never pulled that one.
I bought one tin and pulled it, and I was working a game at the time, and the lad who I was working with was he was big into collecting and stuff like that, and he was so mad that I pulled it. And then I also pulled I don't know if you can see the light is the shiny Squawk as well. But if we go further through, I've got an original Mewtwo EX.
Oh, nice. I think I had that one growing up.
I had the Arceus level 100 and the Dalga.
Oh, that's from the Platinum Arceus, the Arceus set. That was a good one.
These aren't hollow, but I've got the Plasma Kyurem and the Plasma Giratinas, just the most. But then I've also got random ones of Cyndaquil. Typhlosion is my favorite starter, so I've got just random Cyndaquil all art. I've got Mareeps because Ampharos is my favorite Pokemon.
Oh, is it? Ampharos is a good one.
Ampharos is my favorite. I have a first edition Machamp.
Oh, is that the promo one?
Yeah,
the first edition promo. Yeah, I love that one. George is just glazing over.
Do you know what it is? It makes me laugh because I've sort of just invented a joke in my head of when Star Wars fans talk about a character going back and everyone it's Club Shitto, and I've imagined that in my head of what these could be made up, but it's everything he says. I'm just that's hilarious. I have no idea what that is.
I've got the Metagross V from.
That's nice.
I've got loads of random ones. There's just. And like I said, these are just random ones that I've got the Full Art Avery. Yeah, these are just random ones that I've pulled over the years and just put them in this random little thing.
The little single pocket binder.
You guys should do
a collaborative little.
That'd be great.
10-minute video going through that as opening this pack.
But there's a basically my bed has it has drawers underneath it, and the drawer that I used to store all my TCG stuff in is completely broken because the pure weight, it just could not handle the pure weight, the amount of crap that I had in it of cards from Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic and Pokemon and One Piece and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I thought it was a little thing to do.
It's good to add shopping bags, just shopping bags worth of just Pokemon cards. And I like whenever my nephew pulls a card, my mum's in on the lingo and she's like, you need to be careful that you need to sleeve that up, and I'm like, no, he should enjoy the card. He's don't care about the condition, just look at it, appreciate it.
Some of my original Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I used to use as a kid I remember spilling water on them and stuff like that. They're so
putting them in the wash.
I've still got I remember it's so I wanted a Blue Eyes White Dragon so much when I was a kid. Like I wanted that artwork from the anime.
Yeah.
And I remember my parents bought me one, but the deal they gave me it for learning my 3 times table in school. And I remember sitting in my living room at home, right? And I remember doing my 3 times table and doing it, and they're like, "We've got you a gift," and giving me this Blue Eyes White Dragon. Mate, it was the greatest day of my life. Like it was like it just instantly went into the deck, made no synergy at all. But I was like, "This is the coolest thing ever." I was like, "I can have Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon." I was like,
I want you to guess how much I sold when I was a kid, when I went for a brief phase of like, I'm not as into Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. Like, because I get into Yu-Gi-Oh once a year.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I sold all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards at a car boot. There was 3 kids came up to my little table. They went through my Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I was selling the cards for very, very cheap.
Yeah.
And I had 3 like mint condition original Blue Eyes White Dragon cards in that vault.
Yeah.
And guess how much I sold all 3 for?
£3.
It's worse. I sold each card for 5p. So
Bro's been fleeced.
The 3 of them together, 15p.
But then at the same time, you probably made that kid's childhood.
For sure.
Mate.
For sure. Yeah. And there was
that's priceless.
Yeah, and money would also help, but yeah, making kids, childhoods. There was an old man that came along, and he was like, "How much for the lot?" And my mum and I were like, £10, and he was like, "Oh, my grandson's gonna absolutely love this." So yeah, I remember when I was like freelance camera operating, and I was at like a primary school. We were interviewing the headmaster there, and when we got some B-roll in the playground, when it was like not during lunch, there was a few kids that came out and they were just in the corner, and I just saw them trading, and it makes me so happy to see kids like enjoying the hobby like that, and to know it's still alive.
Yeah,
the skirt, we have so many fun memories. Like go with my nana going to buy my first Egyptian god cards. Like it's just all those it's those little things that you always remember. And even like in the yard, like I had friends who used to collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like, and Pokemon cards. Like it's always been a massive thing in my life, and it will never change. I will still spend and have spent countless amounts of money on cards, unfortunately,
on shiny cardboard.
Yep, absolutely. Shall we go to our first break?
Yeah,
let's go into our first break. Well, our only break.
Yeah, no, I said first break. We will be right back.
Nice.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am still joined by George, as always, and still joined by the wonderful
Don't sound so
Euan.
disappointed.
Thank you again for being here, Euan. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
It's a pleasure to have you. How are you finding the podcast environment so far? You said this is the first podcast you've ever done.
First podcast, but yeah, I mean, I used to have a radio show, and that was live, so you can't cut anything out.
Yeah, well, hence the sort of censoring, I suppose. You're not wanting to automatically swear, whereas on Nostalgia Bait, we do frequently swear.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
George, especially.
The Chapel Roan episode, I think, had about 50 cunts in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we kept saying cunty.
No, you, no. You kept saying.
Yeah, and I die on that. Anyway, hang on. Can you hear... Can you hear that? Can you hear that, Cooper? There's a sound ringing. Euan, can you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
Not picking up. Not my fans. Though I have many. It's a phone. There's a phone ringing. Oh, I think that might be our... Oh, it's time for the complaints department, Cooper. Oh, my God.
Oh, I forgot.
Roll the intro.
I've got a jacket, I've got a dressing gown, I've got some chicken, I've got some bread, I've got a can of lager, I've got a fishing rod, and I'm willing to sit down and just shout, Modi, it's Gaza. Just all I want to shout is, Modi, it's Gaza, where are you?
Oh, well, okay. Nostalgia Bit Complaints Department. It's our brand new segment that we started doing since we came back last month. where we ask you to contribute at home. We put out a little thing on a website called SpeakPipe. I'm talking like a boomer. It's brilliant.
SpeakPipe.
We put a thing out somewhere, and you guys do something with that. On SpeakPipe, we give you sort of a free space every month to complain about all the things, all your woes in the film and TV industry. Films you've either liked or not liked, and just the general state of things. They could be nice things. They don't have to be complaints, but we do relish moaning. So we will wait no more. We're going to jump over to our first caller. So, our first caller is Logan today. Let's hear what Logan has to say.
I think the biggest thing I'm getting sick and tired of when it comes to the film industry are these pointless sequels, cough, cough, Toy Story 5, or live action slop, cough, cough, Moana, Zero and Stitch. And the biggest culprits behind these are definitely the parents and the little kids. Like, let's be honest now. Like, they will take them to see anything just so the corporations can keep producing constant slop after slop instead of just something original, you know? Like, I agree with you both in the previous Nostalgia Bit episode that indie projects are better than corporate projects nowadays. I just bring something new and refreshing to the big screen, like the Backrooms or Iron Man, for example. Like, it's just something that we really need nowadays, especially like the indie animation community. Like, you got the Amazing Digital Circus that got picked up by Netflix, which the final episode ended up being put in the big cinemas, or shows like Hazbin Hotel or Hell of a Boss that's now being picked up by A24 and now being broadcasted on Prime. Like, overall, at this point, I just feel like society really needs to stop giving these mask-off corporate greedy scumbags our money so they can continue producing live action slop after slop or just sequels that literally no one has asked for apart from themselves because they just milking the IP to death. And yeah, so yeah.
Wow.
Optimist slogan there.
Wow.
No, I think very valid. I think there's a lot of frustrations and I think he's very angry. Euan, as our guest, we'll let you start. What do you think about all that?
I think that it's definitely a telling sign of corporations and, filmmakers worried that if they try something new, it's not going to be received well. And I think it's gotten to a point where now they're just making sequels, remakes, live actions, just because they know at least there's some level of a fan base. There's some level of, people wanting to see that. But I think actually, they're not to kind of go against the pessimism, but I think there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. Because, mentioning, Backrooms and Obsession, George and I went to watch Backrooms the other day. We've both individually watched Obsession. And I think this really just kind of goes to show that people are hungry for fresh new ideas, not sequels, not prequels, not remakes, not live actions. Yeah. A new story that's never been told before in 100%. A fresh new way. And I think that the fact that a lot of these ideas are coming from people that grew up either consuming or creating content. You've got Curry Barker making, sketches online. You've got,
Kane Parsons?
Kane Parsons. I was going to say, Payne Carsons. He's obviously like grown up doing VFX, on the lore of Backrooms. So, it's for sure a problem, but I think that the cycle is moving on to the next stage where actually people are so annoyed.
I think it really depends on, I think that the big stinker right now, this is like a new one. So we talked a little bit about Obsession and Backrooms last month. I'd seen neither by that point where I've seen both now. Yeah. Like I doubled down on what I said last time. It's so refreshing for the industry and Obsession especially was so well made. So good. Moana, I think, will be a really interesting case because that's come out this week, I believe, for us filming. And
I think it's just about to come out, or it might have come out yesterday.
People have seen it, and the reviews are terrible because supposedly it is just a one-for-one remake. And the original only came out 10 years ago.
I saw the day one estimations, and it looks like it's going to absolutely tank in the box office.
That's what should happen. And like, not only because I'm not a massive fan of The Rock, but he does tend to do these sorts of things when I said it to you in the cinema, Euan, when the Moana advert was on. I'm like, it's always him who's fronting these things. Same with Black Adam. Like, the hierarchy of Disney live action remakes is going to change. No, it's into the ground. Basically, it is depressing.
It is.
I'm sort of making some Toy Story 5 because that feels like a sort of relatively newer sort of vision. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's gone down relatively well, better than the fourth one.
Yeah.
And I do agree with the whole thing on like pointless sequels. And I think it's very telling that a lot of Pixar originals now don't hold up to the quality of what they used to do. Mm-hmm. So they capitalize off doing Toy Story 5. Incredibles 3 is coming out in a couple of years' time as well. Mm. It's like, how many more of these are we going to do before it gets old? But I can't blame parents and kids for wanting to take their kids to something. But I do think there is a point to be made about something original. So I saw The Sheep Detectives, which I don't think was particularly like the best film I've ever seen. Yes, it is. Don't worry, he's not singing in it. It was fun. Like I didn't think it was anything groundbreaking, but what I really liked about it is that it was like an emotionally intelligent film for kids that had dark moments in it. Mm-hmm. That was just a very well-rounded basic story. Like, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it was enough where I was like, this is the kind of thing that like parents should be taking their kids to watch, not Minions and Monsters, which is sort of one step away from like Italian brain rot in my eyes.
Absolutely.
We are like the Minions and Monsters stuff. I know it's like appealing for kids, and it's like there's been versions of this throughout like history of
any
kids
of you
films, right?
See the Minions singing contest videos?
Yes.
Very funny. I didn't
George,
see
you
these.
need to see this.
It's really
funny. I need to watch that. Yeah,
it was like they did it as like a promo. Well, I assume they did it as like a promotion for Minions and Monsters.
Sing like a minion.
Yeah. But like real songs.
Yeah, it is the most bizarre, unironically kind of funny.
Which songs?
But
I'd love to know what would be the worst one you could do as a minion.
Oh, one of them did Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's ridiculous.
That's quite a difficult song to
enunciating
go
half of those. Do they replace the words with like banana?
It's like minion. Is it called Minionese or whatever?
Minionese.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So they're not. So they don't have to. Yeah, that's embarrassing, Cooper. Jesus.
Brandon, who was AC on Wingman, and one of my best friends and roommates, he went to see Minions and Monsters with his fiance, and they said it was pretty good.
Do you know what it is? I'm sure it is, and I can't deny that it's like creative. It's just for me, like if I was a parent, what would I prefer to take my kids to? And it's like when I was a kid, the kind of films we grew up on were more emotionally intelligent and geared towards families as instead of just children. Whereas kids are now with this whole like iPad kid kind of thing and just brain rot. I mean, like, it is AI slop shit, all that same sort of bucket of sort of reheated shit. I just like it's rare to see a film that is, again, like I don't think The Sheep Detectives was anything groundbreaking, but it's an example of a kids or family film that is actually kind of doing something new and is kind of back to what I kind of remember watching as a kid.
Yeah, I think like Lion King is a good example of like anthropomorphizing like the idea of like grief and processing, the death of your father. I think, we need to kind of go back to that. Like kids, are incredibly talented. And I think that we need to stop treating them with kind of the idea that they can't process or handle these big ideas or these emotionally intelligent pieces.
Things are sanitized. And I know, and I get not to go too much into detail with this, but like you and me and you work in like a kids' YouTube space and for like our full-time jobs. And, like YouTube is very restrictive in terms of what they would count as kids' content. And like when I was a kid, I was watching Spider-Man, and in that, like, Norman Osborn gets impaled with his glider. Like, I watched that at, like, 3 years old. Like, it doesn't... and look at me, I've turned out fine. It's more just, like... I feel like nowadays everything is so sanitized, this whole, like, protect the children at any cost, protect the children. But it's actually, like...
You're doing a Keir Starmer impression slightly there. Just a little bit.
Well, now Andy Burnham's coming in. I can start brushing off a good old Northern impression to sort of roll out for the future. But it's that kind of... It's become a bit sanitized. But yeah, generally cinema as a whole I'm glad to see stuff like Moana, the live-action remake, flop, because again, this is a one-for-one remake of a film that came out 10 years ago. Unlike Aladdin or The Lion King, I don't agree with those live-action remakes either, but at least it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, it's true.
10 years is not long enough. And it's got The Rock. It's the same guy in it, you know? It's like...
I think we also kind of need to be reminded of like the same thing with the negativity in like the Pokemon space. I think when negativity within a space grows, I do think that the positivity grows with it, because people get so tired of kind of one end of the spectrum that actually they really relish in the idea that when something fresh and something new comes along, it is received well because people are so tired. Like one example of a film that I'm really looking forward to, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but Leica Studios, they created things like Coraline. They do a lot of stop motion animation, like sort of similar to Aardman. They've got a film coming out this year called Wildwood. And I genuinely think that kind of film is going to be the film that kind of breaks the mold and is going to be like, yes,
hopefully.
I think it's going to show that actually people really, really want fresh new ideas.
I don't know, it's got Aquafina in it, mate.
I can't express how much Coraline petrified me as a child. Like, I remember watching it for the first time.
Petrifies me now. It's scary as fuck, man.
I've never seen it again.
I had nightmares, panic attacks. It's a scary film.
Before we get carried away, because we very easily will, let's go into our next caller.
Let's go.
And this one is from Mr. Scarlo.
I thought that Supergirl was fun. I wouldn't call it the best movie I've ever seen by far, and it's not the best DC movie I've ever seen. But I'd say, it's fun, it's good. Millie Alcock, I think, is a better casting than David Collins. I think that's a hot take. I enjoyed the film. It was fun. 7.5 out of 10. Lobo was cool. Yeah.
Just for clarification, Cooper, have you seen?
I've seen Supergirl.
You have seen. So all three of us have now seen Supergirl. That's great. I think it's tricky because I don't really know much about Supergirl in the comics. I don't know what the characterization's like, so I don't know how much of it is good casting for the character or whether it's good characterization. That Millie Alcock fits. I don't think better than David Corenswet, because I think David Corenswet is brilliant as Superman.
I don't think it's better than David Corenswet.
He's
so good.
I think he's great, and I think she's great as well.
She's fantastic.
I just don't know. I don't know if we can compare on that. I think they're both very different types of characters.
I think I've shot myself in the foot slightly recently because I've been rewatching the first season of House of the Dragon, and I see what she's like in the first season of House of the Dragon, and I see her as Supergirl, and I'm like, she's great, but I don't think she's given the opportunity to show her full range. Does that make sense?
I'm with you. I think like she can do more, and I think it's sort of setting up for her to appear in Man of Tomorrow, right? And then we'll be able to see them bounce off each other, I think, a little bit as both characters. And I think that'll be interesting to see. I thought the film was good. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. I agree. I do think the reception to it has been
crazy,
massively overblown, and definitely sort of deep rooted in misogyny.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It's just scary to me, because when it came out, it got the shit reviews, and I thought, it probably is bad. Like, I trusted that as like the general consensus of, it's probably going to be a bit rubbish. And I watched it, and although not perfect, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, the way I had to kind of look at it is, it's like, it's not for my, I'm not like the exact target demographic, right? I like my superhero films, but like, there are younger people, teenagers and kids who would watch this film and have probably so much fun with it. And really enjoy it and love like the characters. And I can see it being like, as a kid, I would have watched that and bought action figures and bought like posters and Lego sets.
It reminds
me
of like, it's a bit like a Captain Marvel. Like, it reminds me of like my first superhero. Like, you can see somebody young going to see it and completely changing their life. 100%, which I think is really nice.
Didn't necessarily change my life, but was I expecting it to? No, neither did Superman last year. Like but they are good films. I enjoy them, and I like what they're doing with building this universe. But not the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Lobo was interesting.
I just don't think he was in it. He wasn't in it enough.
I think he was in it more than enough.
Do you say I love Lobo? I think he's such a great character.
Yeah, I think.
But what is his character?
You could have taken him out of the film, and it wouldn't have really changed a huge amount.
He just sort of rocks and goes, "Fuck yeah, I'm Lobo." Yeah. Every line was delivered with so much ham.
Then it's one of those things where it's like it's the second movie in a however long timeline. Lobo will 100%. I think Lobo will be one of those characters that plays a big deal later on.
Hey, we hope so.
Yeah.
I do hope so. I don't know. And got our last call for today. It's from that one, Sleep No More Fan.
You cannot talk about disappointing things in today's media culture without mentioning the live-action Moana remake. Yeah, they just remade the first original wonderful movie, but with Dwayne Johnson in a terrible wig, with cursed live-action crusty Schaefer Willis crab, with disco lights in his cave for some reason. And, well, I've not exactly heard good things about them. I mean, maybe I'm not the best person to be talking about this, considering I haven't even seen the full thing. I've seen...
You've seen the original, though.
Reviews. I know from the basic premise of remaking a movie that's not even 10 years old that, come on, man.
Yeah.
You wasted your money on this. Disney. Oh, well, I guess they're never going to stop, are they? You just got to look to the innovators of animation and film rather than relying on corporate slop like this. Speaking of...
that word's being used a lot today.
Hell, the original Moana film is only 10 years old. I'm older than it. I'm just going to go and retire now. Goodbye.
That's the thing. It's like everybody who talks about the Moana, it's like, I understand remaking all the original ones from the Lion Kings and Snow White, all that stuff. I don't understand doing a live action remake of one that's so young. Like, that's my biggest gripe with it. And at the end of the day, like, I've seen the original. I probably know what the new one's going to be like. It's that kind of thing. It's like the soundtracks.
Scene for scene.
Yeah.
Scene for scene.
Same generation. That's the thing. It's like, as much as, like, for example, like Lion King and Aladdin, like the live actions are not good and we don't need them, at least because they were so old, there are going to be quite a few children that grow up now that probably didn't watch them, and then they can kind of at least be introduced to, because the Lion King like story is still great, you know, even if the live action lines have no emotion to them whatsoever, and they look sort of like
it's always asked the point of like, what's the point in making this when there's a better version already? Unless you're going to do something different or improve on the original, what is the point?
I saw someone online saying that they should, if Dwayne The Rock Johnson really wanted to play Maui in live action that badly, they should have done like a live action origin story of Maui, something like that.
That would have been more interesting as an original film. Also, doing a shot-for-shot remake.
It also makes me laugh that we've had Moana 2 like 2 years ago, and we're getting the live-action remake of the original. It's like...
I haven't watched
Moana 2 was a mess as well, because it was just essentially something that was supposed to be a Disney Plus series that they then re-edited into a film.
Oh, really?
So it looked like a series. It was a low-budget kind of... It almost looked like a straight-to-DVD kind of animated film.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are our callers for this week. Thank you very much to those who have called in to complain about the slop in the film industry.
I always struggle with
The
Rock because it's like, I really don't like him. Like, I don't like him as an actor, and I just think everything he's in is terrible. But he will make, and as a WWE fan, he will make one appearance like once in a blue moon. And the moment that music hits, I just forget everything he's ever done wrong. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like, he's the greatest guy ever. Like, it's so difficult.
I do feel like it's nice on a wrestling note that like so many years into his career in film now and all these projects that he's made, we do finally have an answer to, can you smell what the Rock's cooking? Shit. So
it's the moment, like the moment that hits, I'm just like, I forget everything. I'm just like, yeah, he's the best. Like, it's just...
Actually, you know what? Don't know how I segue from that, so we're going to just abruptly move on. We have a guest here today. Euan, you still here?
I'm still
somehow.
here, yeah.
We're going to move on to be talking about films now as we gear towards talking about Wingman, which we're kind of putting off.
Yeah.
You know, retention of
Save it for last.
But yeah, you not only are a fan of making YouTube content and Pokémon stuff, you did also touch upon your sort of filmmaking background and your media background.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some films and some more kind of big scale professional projects that you've done.
So, I mean, like, film has always been my bread and butter. You know, I went to an art school, an art college, Plymouth College of Art, did film there. I did film for my undergraduate and I did film for my master's. There on my master's, I guess, because that's most recent, I did 2 films, like, mostly on that, like, for my final project. One of them was a documentary on one of my friend Brandon, who was AC on Wingman. It was his brother. His brother is obsessed with cars, specifically like drifting. And he has this Japanese imported drift car.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. And the documentary essentially follows him and his love for drifting. And it's following him essentially tinkering with his car, getting it road ready to be able to drive. And so we follow him, and at the end, obviously, he gets to drive. And I think it's called like a JXT or something like that. It's a really nice purple Japanese. It has like a Japanese radio inside. So I did a documentary with Brandon, and we called it Chaser, because I think that was what the car was called, the Chaser. And then I also did a dark fantasy short film, which was based on a character called Knight Artorias from the first Dark Souls
Can I
game.
see this? Can I get a link to this? I need to watch this.
Yeah. I've never put it online actually. I've got it somewhere on my hard drive. Yeah, I think
you should just dump it online.
I think I should. Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's definitely like an audience for it.
Yeah.
And
with the Elden Ring movie coming out.
Yeah, true. Actually,
yeah.
I also think it's just good to get projects out there. Like, quite recently, like I set up another YouTube channel just to dump film stuff on there, and I just uploaded some like random stuff from like when I was in uni, like not proper short films, but like just some like test short films that were done in like a day. It's like 1,000 views, and I was like, oh, okay. YouTube recommended came through there, but it's good because like because I look at some of the stuff and I'm like, oh god, like I don't really. It doesn't matter though. I think it's like it's all good to have it out there, and I've turned around from going like, oh, I want to hide everything I'm not 100% proud of, to being like, you know, loud and proud. This is the filmmaking journey, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like we get better, you learn as time goes on.
I think a lot of mine were put on Vimeo because when I was in college and uni, I'm surprised that they weren't being sponsored by Vimeo, because they were like, Vimeo's where it's at. It's where you put your professional content on.
Genuinely, like, as somebody who works the industry, like, it's massive. My dad still religiously puts stuff on Vimeo. Like, it's what everybody references. Like, it's bonk. The amount of times I've told them just use YouTube.
It's about compression.
Yeah.
It's about compression, and Vimeo is more like to the kind of source.
Yeah.
Stuff, it's more of a portfolio.
I remember when Matt Reeves did it for the Batman. When he released the trailer on YouTube, he also uploaded it to Vimeo in proper like 4K. And admittedly, the Vimeo one looked incredible.
Yeah.
Whereas the YouTube one, because there's a lot of dark kind of, there's a lot like it's quite dark film, is like lighting wise. So a lot of it gets like compressed and mixed around and stuff. So yeah. I don't know, but YouTube's great.
YouTube is great, and you've got a lot of YouTubers making films, but I think they both have their own places. But yeah, I never uploaded. It was called The Abyss Walker, and yeah, do you want to see the sword that I got?
I would like to see the sword on camera, please. Yes.
Right, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit for this one.
Yeah, can you get it in frame?
My
God. Like diagonal, maybe. It's very
still
big.
Not quite.
Those in, two hands.
How big is it? Do you know?
Supposedly, according to the speaking to the mic, supposedly according to the Russian prop maker that I ordered it from, it's 6 foot.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
I've got a
great
shield
sword
as
style.
well in the back of the room. And if you look up there, that in different various cardboard boxes is the full Knight Artorias cosplay set.
I just love that you kept all of this as well, because this is very. I did exactly the same thing. I think I've got.
What?
I actually think I've got I have actually. I've got a box down here which is just Cupid's costume. It's just sat in my room. Yeah, just everything's just in here now, just in a big box.
He cries into it at night, knowing that it's when the shoot was over.
Well, I'll take crying into it at night. That sounds better.
I did crowdfund for the film, and it went entirely into costume and props.
Oh yeah,
cool though. Hey, it looks good.
Because it was very, it was very much like that was what we needed to spend the money on. We needed it to look good.
Mm-hmm.
I will forward you a photo of the full thing, of the full armor.
I'll try and put that on
shield.
screen.
Yeah. And I paid someone who was like a cosplay photo editor to edit it to make like a poster for the film, and it looks so good. There's like this kind of a couple of the more recent film projects that I've done. I was a freelance camera operator before I started working with George. And a lot of that
makes it sound like I've employed you.
It does. It's like, thank you, Squire. Thank you, Squire.
We have a 9-to-5 that we met at. That's how we know each other. That's the job.
That's the job. So I mean, like I think for me, I've always loved blurring the lines between YouTube and film. Mm-hmm. And for me, there's a content creator called It's-A-Me Milio. He's called Miles Wheeler in real life, and growing up, like, he was a huge inspiration for the kind of films that I wanted to make, because he made actual short films which are all incredible, but he also made vlogs which completely blurred the lines between content and filmmaking. He made this one vlog which, like, I think spans like 1 or 2 years of his life. And it is a feature length vlog. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that. And I've rewatched it probably about 10 times. I remember it's like he's one of those people that, like, you know, when your like favorite YouTuber or like someone that you watch growing up, like they release a video but they don't do it often. You know, he's not one of those people that release something every week. It's like, you know, only releases something when he's really proud of it. And so I not only did I like making films, like, you know, specific film projects, but I also really loved to make vlogs that kind of blurred those lines.
Yeah.
And I think as well, one thing I really liked about his videos were the fact that most of them have really nonsensical titles. Like, did not take SEO into account whatsoever. And I think, like, you know, George and I spend a lot of time, you know, creating like the perfect SEO and trying to capture retention. And I think sometimes it's nice on YouTube to take a step back and be more of a filmmaker and let the film or the vlog speak for itself. And so that's kind of why growing up I started naming videos really wacky things. I mean, George knows what we went to Portugal together, and
I was going to bring this up actually.
And I created what it was like 40 minute.
It's a 40-minute vlog.
Yeah, 40-minute vlog.
It's honestly, and it's I really hope one day you just release it, because it is so funny. And it's obviously a lot of inside jokes, but the way you've edited it is so good. Like, honestly, I mean, that, similar to the pub crawl, took about a year to edit.
It did, yeah.
But so worth it. I mean, if I could have every holiday like that documented in like a sort of highly edited, fast-paced sort of YouTube video, I'd be laughing. It's brilliant, and you should send it to Cooper, because it is really funny.
Yeah.
I love my travel vlogs. I'm really, you know, big into traveling, and I always like to make a vlog when I travel. I've been to LA and Chicago with Ryan, and we did a vlog for that. And then my mum and stepdad constantly rewatch. I did 5 smaller vlogs we did a like a road trip from San Francisco to Las Vegas, and probably about 2-3 times a year they rewatch all of them.
Really?
That's really sweet.
It's just nice, I guess, to have you know, like you were saying, like a holiday documented in this, you know, sort of humorous or like really whimsical format. But I always love just giving really random names. Like the Portugal vlog is called Eat an Orange in the Shower If You're Sad.
Yeah. It makes sense when you watch it.
Yeah,
that's the story arc.
Yeah. That's the thing is like it's a travel vlog, but actually there is an overarching narrative to it. And
it did involve like the night that we were leaving and we had a 3 a.m. like wake up call for like a 5 a.m. flight. It did involve you at midnight stood in the shower with me filming you eating an orange. Clothed, by the way. Clothed.
Yeah.
So that was great.
A couple of the other ones I've got All Is Well in Waffleville. That was good. Autumn Leaves, Jesus Doesn't.
Really good.
Random ones. I love doing that, and I think moving forwards, like obviously we've still got Wingman. And I think you know that's the next big thing. But I'm really excited that because I'm still surrounded by great people like you guys who are creatives. You know, I'm so kind of there's this quote from an anime called Demon Slayer. It says, "Set your heart ablaze," and I really like that. That's how I feel for film and projects. And I think because I'm constantly surrounded by creative people, there's always something new on the horizon. Like today it's this, you know, and in, you know, however many weeks it'll be something else. And I think it's creating something has always been my way of communicating. I think growing up, I was incredibly introverted. You know, I am neurodivergent. I'm diagnosed with type 1 bipolar and OCD. And I think that for me, personally, like creating vlogs or films, it's always been my way of communicating my feelings, or, you know, it's like if I can't kind of communicate how I feel by saying it, I can create a film and that can do the speaking for me. So I think, it's nice that we're all able to kind of get on and hop on these things, are like, you know, whether it's content, whether it's, you know, it's a fully fledged film that we've been working on for 3 years.
Crazy.
So long, and the time's ticking. It's going to be 4 years before you
No. I mean, the thing is, I don't care how long it takes now because it's done in my eyes. Like it was done, but it's shot, and it's like it exists because before you shoot it, we're going into Wingman. Let's just go into Wingman. Before you shoot it, it's like, okay, we're working on the script, but we could easily turn around at any point and go, not really feeling it, actually, let's just bin it off. Until the fundraiser page opens, that's when it's real, because that's when it's like people have put their money into this now. We have
I said this
responsibility.
To you after we filmed the 2 days in the flat. I said, no, and like what you was like, it's similar to what you've just said. It's like, no matter what happens now, like after those first 2 days, everything else, you could have SD card corruptions, like nothing could go right for those next 4 days. But at the end of the day, those first 2 days, you have a pitch film. You could edit that together and you have a pitch film to pitch to a production company.
And nothing went tits up.
Exactly.
Like that. So actually we have got the full.
That's what I'm saying. That's the way you have to look at it. It's like, at the end of the day, if it never gets edited or it doesn't get professionally edited, or you have to slapdash it together, you have something to be able to show to people, whether it's a pitch doc, whether it's a short film to festival. Like, you have things there. You have 30-second scenes that you can use as references for your guys' portfolios and stuff like that. Like, you have so many different things out of it.
100%.
Yeah.
If we talk, we must talk about Wingman.
I think Wingman, that's what the people want to know about.
For those who aren't aware, after hearing me waffle about it for the last year anyway, Wingman is a film that both me and Euan wrote together, and we shot it earlier this year in February. We've been writing it for about 2.5 years at that point. We shot it. It's currently in post-production. A lot of the people who are watching may already be aware because they may have also donated to the film to help us get it made. Let's talk about that then. I don't know where to even start with talking about Wingman. I guess the beginning, probably a good start.
Beginning's always good to start.
Yeah.
Where did it
take
come
that
from?
away?
Yeah.
Who came to who? Where did who come to who?
I don't know where Euan's going to be on the thing, but wherever he is, him.
I'm at the bottom, apparently.
Not on my screen anymore, but
on the side. So like the conception of Wingman was I was watching Gravity Falls. Great show.
This just makes it even better. And
there's this one episode where they have this character called the Love God. And he's essentially Cupid. He's not called Cupid. He's essentially Cupid. And he's basically like, he's like a rock star. But a little bit washed up, you know. And around that time, I was really big into my mockumentaries. You know, I love People Just Do Nothing. I remember seeing the People Just Do Nothing big in Japan with my roommates, and I was like laugh out loud laughing like in the cinema. And I think with mockumentaries, it's a different kind of format where a lot of films you think of kind of concept first, character second. I think mockumentaries are very much like, what's the character? Because you always have this larger than life character.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like, after like a couple weeks, it just popped into my head. And I just remember I write down all of my ideas. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of idea. It doesn't matter if I'm never going to make it. It doesn't matter what format it is. If it's a video game, if it's a film, if it's a song, I always write down my ideas. And I wrote down in my notes just something along the lines of like, you know, like mockumentary about Cupid. And then just like a tagline of he's not really needed anymore because dating apps exist. And that was kind of like the premise.
It's the elevator pitch, really, isn't it?
Fantastic.
It was, yeah. And then I kind of, George and I, since we met each other at work, kind of shared our love for films, and we talked a lot about, you know, Letterboxd and, you know.
Well, this was the thing as well. So from my perspective as well, like I started work where we work, and yeah, again, like something that I don't even know if you're aware of this actually. Something that I was sort of doing is I'd already I'd made small talks, but it wasn't done. And something I was starting at that point was getting other people at work involved with trying to clear it up, because I wasn't particularly happy with the audio mix and the music. So it was a big process to kind of get that cleaned up. But at that time, I kind of wore it on my sleeve a little bit that I was, you know, with friends and people that I knew, that I'd made a film and I'm trying to put time and effort into it so it can be released. And I think that's a big thing. It's like a lot of people make films, not many people actually release them. And I think it's such a shame. Of a lot of grad films that I saw from uni, from like the film course, a lot of them never even saw the light of day on any sort of watchable medium. I can't watch any of them anywhere. And I think that's really sad. So I'm very keen to get stuff out there. So I think that's what you were aware, that I had made a film, written and directed a film already. Also around that time, I was trying to spitball the early workings of my next film, right? And I wanted to do a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was either going to be a comedy film or it was going to be a comedy pilot for a TV series. And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I'd actually sat down with other writers previousI was like, I know them, they're pretty
I remember funny, this, yeah.
And I sat down and you know, bless him, because it never ended up going anywhere. I really appreciated those kind of early sessions, because sometimes it's like I have no complaints about this person at all. They're brilliant, but the ideas we were having collectively weren't going anywhere. We kind of just, every idea we had was just something that already existed. It was like something that was kind of based on maybe uni, and then it was like something that's very clearly based on Always Sunny, or something that's very basically like based on something we're watching at the minute.
Yeah.
You turned to me just one random day at work, because we sat a couple of seats away from each other, and you turned to me and were like, I have like a pitch for a film, for a comedy. And I know you've done, I remember you said something along the lines like, no, you've done like, you've made a film before. And I wondered if we could like chat at some point and kind of spitball it. And then, I remember we went to the atrium.
We did,
yeah. I remember that very well.
Because I think I had like a premise, and I had loose ideas for scenes that I wanted to see that I think would be funny. This larger than life character in modern day settings. What I remember situations would be funny.
I remember that the ceiling factor, because you never know. I mean, it's like the idea. I love the idea, and that elevator pitch is brilliant. And I think it was like, right, let's sit and we'll spitball scene ideas. What would be funny? And it was, and I know it's kind of is in the film. So you know, spoiler, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go too into detail of stuff in the film because we don't want to spoil stuff about it. But the concept of it was Cupid at a bar pouring a love potion into someone's drink, like an old kind of like mythology kind of potion that would help someone fall in love. But he's completely unaware that he looks like he's spiking someone's drink.
Yeah.
And like putting something mythological and kind of old into that setting in that modern world is exactly kind of what you were looking at anyway. And I think we bounced this idea. That was the scene that we came up with where I think we both kind of clicked and went, we have to make it because it's funny. It is funny.
I will say, genius idea, by the way. Like
so
simple,
really happy
but
about
so genius. Like
the amount of times, like, you know, like people have come up to George and I, or like individually, and like said, you know, we've said we're making a film. It's like, oh, what's the idea? And just I loosely explain, you know,
it's such an easy one to explain.
It is very easy to
explain. I love that.
And very easily people get it. You know, you just say it's Cupid, but he's in modern day. He used to be, you know, well renowned for getting people together. But now with the age of dating apps, that he's not really needed anymore. And this is his kind of like final hurrah to be relevant again. And as soon as you tell that to people are like, oh, that's really good. And
and it's nice
really
to hear, isn't it?
It's very nice to hear.
Oh yeah, great. And that must feel especially good for you having that idea.
Yeah.
It's a good sort of place to jump off. I think like, when we started developing it, and I think as well, like, I love mockumentaries.
That's one of the reasons why I pitched it to you, was because we had already had a conversation and sort of like talked about our shared love of mockumentaries. So I was like, you know, George loves films and mockumentaries. You know, it's like I think we have similar taste as well. And I was like, I've got this idea, but I need someone to help me bring it to life. Like, this isn't something I want to do on my own. And like, a testament to you, and obviously a testament to like everyone, because there's been so many people on this project that have been absolutely wonderful. But I think like special thanks to you, because I think that for me to sort of pitch an idea to you, I'm often an ideas man. I think I come up with a lot of ideas, and I think it's quite easy for me to think of ideas and be creative. But I think that something I really struggle with is consistency. And I think that an idea is nothing without consistency. You know, like you said, there's so many people that have these great ideas at uni, but they never get released. And I think that, you know, I really want to thank you, because I think that, you know, without you, this film wouldn't exist. Like, the film would have never started if it wasn't for me, but the film would have never been finished if it wasn't for you. So I think
that's a really sweet thing to say.
I think we've worked together really well.
Exactly the same. I think well, this is exactly the same. You have some really brilliant ideas, and I really struggle with ideas. I struggle with that bit. Is so you presented me this idea, which is immediately like, that works. Like, then my brain goes into, right, I can picture scenes. I can picture how this person talks. I can kind of imagine how he would interact with people. And it's kind of similar to what you know with mockumentaries. And it's sort of, but it's also something completely unique. And I love that. I think the one thing we were worried about when jumping forward now to like shooting it, when we got Sean on board, who is brilliant. He is amazing. Excellent. And just like, by luck, by chance, happens to be the perfect person for it.
Yeah.
And it's daft. And we can say this now, is the application process was slim.
Yeah. We
had some more famous people in mind that we reached out to and got some kind of mixed responses. Some were interested, but couldn't justify it because it was a low budget thing.
Yeah.
Completely fair enough. We put then a public casting call out, and we had like a short list of a few people. I don't think any of them were really right for it.
No.
Other than Sean.
Sean was perfect.
It wasn't between Sean and someone else.
No.
It was as soon as
Sean.
As soon as I saw him for the first time, as soon as it was just him, he got it.
Yeah.
And I think one thing we were worried about then was, I think he was very inspired by The Office.
Yeah.
And Gervais's performance as David Brent in The Office. And I think throughout the shoot, very much something from like a direction point of view of being like,
that's very David Brent. Let's kind of bring that down a little bit because we don't want it to be too much like.
Yeah, we want to have an original character.
Mm-hmm. And I worried because after Wingman, because I purposefully, from a writing and directing point of view, I didn't watch any mockumentaries for like 2 years. I didn't watch anything because I didn't want to accidentally rip off anything, and I wanted any ideas that we did have, in front of the camera or even in the writing stage, I wanted them all to be authentic and an amalgamation of inspiration that we might have had from stuff we've watched in the past, but not something that we're watching and going, I want to copy that. I watched The Office after we filmed Wingman, and there was a particular scene, I think, in like the Christmas special. It was the second to last episode where David Brent's in like a greengrocer's, and it's like in the universe, it's like after The Office has gone out on BBC. So he's sort of, his character's more like, he's famous now, which he wasn't in the earlier bits. So it's that personality with the whole fame. And that scene, I was like, oh, fuck. It's almost like, not quite, but it's almost bit for bit a scene we've got in Wingman. Thankfully, it's not really, and it completely coincidental. But generally, my takeaway from watching The Office again was like, oh, actually, it's not like Cupid at all, and it is completely different. Because it's been so long since I watched it, I was a bit like, oh, it's a bit kind of Brenty, but actually, no. And Sean did a fantastic job of embodying that character. I don't even know what we imagined the character would be without Sean.
I think as well, like Sean helped to shape the character. Just as much as we sort of presented a character to him. I think
it's not. He wasn't playing like this is the thing with any good actor. It's not so you're not just playing it how you want it. And I think you can't always be, especially from a director point of view, you can't always be like you have to do it by the script. This is exactly what I want. It has to be a collaborative effort, especially on a smaller budget film where someone is volunteering their time for little kind of financial gain off the back of it. They want to be part of a collaborative process, and they want it to be something they're proud of, and I want that as well. I think Sean was he is the character.
He is,
as much as between in terms of like creatively what the character of Cupid is. I think between me, you, and Sean, I think that is kind of like a trifecta of what like the character and how that came about, because I think we wrote him, but exactly who he was is also a bit of Sean as well.
You can write as much as you want and come up with ideas and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, whoever is cast as him always brings their own unique flair, whether good or whether bad. But it was just a perfect amalgamation. Like the moment we stepped on set, straight away, the first scene we did, it was just like, holy shit. It was. I remember when we did the photo shoot. I know you weren't there for that. Sorry, we did the photo shoot, and it was the first time we'd seen him in costume. And he went out of the room to get changed, and he walked in with like the sort of toga and like the dirty tank top and the wings. Again, shout out to Georgie, for our costume designer, who did a phenomenal job with that.
Yes.
And he walked out, and I think me and you kind of looked at each other and were like, "Oh God, this is it."
Yeah,
you know,
I think we sort of turned to each other. And
I think it was like a sigh of relief of like, yep, he's Cupid.
Yeah, the amount of times we'd just be like whispering to each other, just like, "Oh my God, he's so good!" Like this is it. Like getting so excited that like we've written a character for many years, and I think we did say to him in person, like, it is a weird feeling because you've written a character and you've kind of almost kind of. You know, that character does live within you, and then to actually see someone dressed up as that character, to be playing that character in a way that you could have never imagined, it is weird.
It is a very weird feeling, and I think because we spent so long writing it, like I look back at Small Talks, that was written in about 3 months. We shot it straight after and cracked on, and the characters weren't really larger than life, very grounded. With Wingman, that's like 2.5 years of writing a character and trying to imagine what this person would look like, how they'd act, how they'd talk. And then see Sean walk in a room and get it immediately and be like, fucking hell. It's like some sort of weird wish that's going to come to life off the page. It's madness. How did you find Cooper? Because I don't want to keep talking about stuff you weren't there for.
I was actually just thinking, it was probably just over a year since I first did an original, first did a script breakdown and did an original schedule. It will probably is, because I remember finishing All Creatures and doing it on the train.
You were one of the first people, going further back than that, you were one of the first people we actually got involved in the project from the get.
Guys. Yeah. I remember having a heart attack when I read the script and did a schedule. I actually had a heart attack. I literally messaged her being like, this is unbelievable. Like, like
in a good way.
In a good
Because
way.
usually a heart attack has negative connotations.
Usually.
When I say a heart attack, I mean from like a schedule, like reading a script and seeing like 20 pages in one location and shooting on average, going from like drama shooting average of like 6 to 7 pages a day. I was like, holy shit. Fuck off.
Yeah. I know Euan was tempted as well. But very early on when we had, I think it was like the first draft of the script, I said to Cooper, I was like,
I remember sitting down.
I said to you at the time, Euan, I was like, I want Cooper to be first AD on this.
I was like 100%. Yeah. And then after, I think working.
Naive of us to think that we were shooting anytime soon at that point. I mean, that was like, what?
Yeah.
Within the first year, and it took us 2.5 years to even write the fucking thing anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like 100, like I knew we had similar interests, and if George trusted you, I trusted you. I think at that point I hadn't met you, had I?
I think I don't. It's Wingman.
No, you didn't meet him until Wingman.
Yeah. So it's like, and I was like 100%. Let's do it. But then after working with you, I mean, obviously you have professional experience, but like, want to say thank you to you as well, because you were the well-oiled cog in the machine that really made like at least like the time that we were on production, like smooth, so smooth.
That was my one thing. Like when me and George first spoke about
like,
this,
I never worked with Cooper in a professional capacity either, and I think that's what. And I said this, and it's like don't take this in a bad way. That I'm surprised.
No,
I was shocked. I was like, I can't believe that someone I'm this like good mates with, like, is actually that good at their job.
Yeah. Because
usually it's sort of like you either pick a friend to work with or you pick the best people for the job. And sometimes you get that.
Guys, you get both.
Spot on. But again, and I want to give credit just so we don't shaft him to Daniel, because he obviously did the other half of the shoot.
Daniel was fantastic.
For sure.
He was incredible as well.
I was nervous when I first had my first meeting with Daniel, because I had no idea like what he was going to be like. And I remember having a meeting with him, just going through everything. And I literally texted George like after, I was like, yep. I was like, you have such safe hands.
He jumped in at request of, because I think your schedules changed, Cooper, and you weren't able to make like more of the shoot as time went on. So it ended up being half and half. And I think Daniel stepped up incredibly, and we would have been quite fucked if he hadn't done that. And I think he stepped up brilliantly on set as well. But what I wanted to get back to is I do think that you kind of set the precedent of what the expectation was for that, like for Wingman being a first AD. You came in with the song of the day every day.
So it's just
all about
little
things.
It was just,
man. It's all the little things.
I said it from the very start, George. As I said, I want to make it feel, for your sake, like I want to make it feel like, I don't want it to feel like a student film. I want it to feel like we are on an actual proper film set and this, that, and the other. And I said, I will bring how I see it done and how I like it to be done. I will bring that on board, and that's how I will. I am notorious that I like to run a tight ship. It's the joke that everybody makes about me. And I just said to George, I said, this is how I want to do it. And even from the first day, from when we first stepped on set and we first started blocking and filming, I like to set a precedent of that's how it's going to go. It's a collaboration at the end of the day, but
that's the important thing to remember.
Run it as smooth as possible.
You're not above.
No,
this is the important thing, and this is for any aspiring. I mean, that's inspiring. You can be inspiring as well, but aspiring filmmakers out there who were wanting to do these sorts of things, right? With Wingman, like it is a low, like it wasn't a student production, but it was a low budget production. We fundraised a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot of that has to go into the creative side of things, making sure we have the equipment, making sure we can cover people's transport at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But what people weren't given was daily wages. We weren't paying people's wages to be on set. They were given food, drink, and transport. But what's important to remember is when people are giving their time towards a project, is making sure that they feel as if they're part of a collaborative process, and not in some sort of artificial sense, going like, "Oh yeah, you're involved. Give me your feedback." Genuinely, I can't think of a person on set who didn't contribute to why Wingman is as good as it is currently. Every single person contributed in some capacity towards that bigger picture. And it has been incredibly heartwarming to see that many of the crew after Wingman have also kept asking, like, can I see Russians? Can I see like a rough cut? I want to do this or that. Like, for example, Joanne, who is our clapper loader for the majority of the shoot, she was so invested that now she's in the process of actually planning and will direct a small behind-the-scenes documentary for Wingman. That I've had to be like, look, I can't be involved in this because I've got too much on. But again, like she was doing us a favor by being clapper loader on that shoot. She was giving us like a massive helping hand, and to come onto that with no real knowledge of what the project was before that, to kind of just jump on and do it, to then come away from it and want to keep being involved with that is incredibly heartwarming. So a huge appreciation to everyone who was on set. For sure. That includes crew. That also includes cast and extras. Yeah. As well for the pub shoot. But
the thing with the crew for me is it was like it felt like there was no egos. Like you guys could have easily come in as the fucking foundations of this short film and been like, no, mine, I want it done this way. But it was like, it felt so collaborative. It felt like I could go up to anybody of any department. I could go to you guys and be like, what's the crack with this? What's the crack with that? I could have a conversation with Joe. Joe could come to me being like, is this what the scene is? Is this the take, this, that, and the other? Like, I can come to you and be like, I want to change the order of things. How are we doing this? How are we doing that? Like, we had so many conversations regarding that kind of stuff.
I think, again, it comes from the background of where we come from in terms of me and Euan coming from like a uni course kind of vibe where there are a lot of people, and not naming names, but there are people who come in with an ego and come in thinking that they're the next like David Lynch, and they might be, but they think they are, and that's the problem. Yeah, is when you're working on a student production or a graduate production or anything sort of when like on a low budget, you're there as a collaborative effort. You're not there to lead it. Yes, me and Euan did write this for 2.5 years. Yes, we did have a very strong creative vision with it, but I don't care how good someone is. I would rather have someone who's worse at what they do but isn't a cunt. Like that's the and then but thankfully everyone was really good and was nice, so I didn't have to worry about that. But the point is like, again, it was a nice set to be on, it was a fun set to be on. That is what I wanted, as well as making sure the film is good. There is a healthy middle ground. You can make the film really good and you can run the set like a prisoner of war camp and everyone is miserable and hates it, but the film is excellent. Or you can make a shit film and make sure everyone's happy and it's like a playgroup. Or you can find a place in the middle, and that's what I was kind of aiming for.
It's so sad though that it is so rare to find that middle ground, but like
it's sad.
You have absolutely perfectly. Like I could name no other like thing that I've been on, whether it's short film, whether what, that has towed that line so well. Like there never felt like any animosity. Like we never felt rushed. Everybody felt like they had the space to do their job and do it to the level that they needed. Like I never had to hurry up anybody once, which was great.
You didn't, which I was waiting for, because I was like, damn, we're getting a lot of stuff here. I was almost moving on quicker sometimes than like we could have had another couple shots.
I think George, you hit like the nail on the head with like university, because I think for me, like I had a love-hate relationship with film. I think because I loved film and I loved creating things, but university was like a difficult experience because, like you said, a lot of people have egos. Everyone thinks that they're right. And
I had huge imposter syndrome.
I was quite socially inept as well. And I found it, you know, film is a collaborative medium and it's difficult. And so that's why I think I've often resorted to YouTube, because it's a way that I can express the same thing, but I can do it myself. And I think that Wingman was so lovely and such a, like I genuinely think that, you know, film is a labor of love, and that with Wingman, the subject matter of being about love, it's a comedy, and that we kind of within the set itself and like, you know, the days that we were working, managed to kind of carry on the ethos and, you know, the ending of the film when eventually people see it, that wasn't, you know, we're putting out a comedy, something funny, something about love, and then on set it's, you know, people aren't enjoying it. I think that it makes the film better, the fact that people are constantly asking us, oh, when's it coming out? You know, it's like, oh, I really enjoyed myself.
It happens all the time. It's really I know it talks about a lot of work to like advertise it and fundraise for it. I genuinely get asked like more than once a week at this point, like, oh, when's the film coming out? And I have to be like, not for a while. But it's really sweet that people associate us with that. And I think, you know, I'm so proud of it. And like, we're sat here, you, and I know, like, you haven't seen like the full first rough cut. I know our editor Marcus is hard at work now on the second, and I'll be going there in the next couple of weeks to see like a second draft. And like, you know, rest assured, it's flying along the post-production line, and we've got a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things that we're not going to talk about quite yet, but
getting
Yeah.
put together.
Mhm.
I am the relief when I watched that first rough cut. I was like,
Yeah. There's
okay,
something
like
in
there's
this.
a lot to fix and there's a lot to change about and tweak, but there's a
I was
film
gonna say,
here.
but at the end of the day,
This
There's a
is
film in there.
a film,
Yeah.
and it's good.
I think it's you know, it's one of those situations like Diamond in the Rough. It's like you can see all the rock around it.
yeah.
You just need to chip away at it, but it's there. We all, after we watched that rough cut, we were like, we've done it.
Yeah,
It's not finished,
yeah.
but
No.
it's there. It's
But
a
you remember that?
thing.
Do you remember the week after we wrapped, and we just was like anxious as
That
fuck? 'cause
was
we were just like,
that was rough.
what if?
That was
You were
rough.
just like, it just sort of like, I don't know. We kept looking at like bits of the rushes and going,
Yeah.
oh, is this?
God.
God, is that going to flow
I
with that?
had
Or
to
is it-
step
oh,
away
God.
a little bit and be like,
Yeah,
we filmed it. We worked really hard on it because I think I kind of went into this
you went into panic mode a
a
little
little
with
bit
some of it.
because I think he
And I
kind
think
of because
you
of
do
my
you-
experience with uni and then we've actually finally
Yeah.
this is it. I think it was like this is going to be my magnus opus, but I really like the quote. It's like you've made a film, now make another one. You know, that's the most difficult part is making another one. And obviously it's like we've got to focus on the film at hand and we're going to finish Wingman. But I think it's at least, and I hope this is for the same for both of you, it's invigorated me with the passion to be like, you know, film can be really enjoyable, and you like we were talking about the set, it can be like that, and I'm really excited for us to finish this and potentially for something else to happen in the future.
It made, because obviously I'm not an AD like in my actual career, it made me kind of go, oh, well, you know, like I'm quite happy doing like on a side kind of thing. Like I'll do locations as like my main career drive, but I do quite enjoy. I did enjoy first, and I actually really enjoyed doing the schedule and learning all that kind of side of it and doing the call sheets and stuff.
I fucking loved working with people.
Yeah.
I will say, actually, I really enjoyed it because it was a nice moment, and we said this so many times on Nostalgia Bit before, and I will shut up shortly, but it is when we started doing, when we became mates and we started doing YouTube stuff, and you like you helped me film these things, and we collaborated on them together, those daft little YouTube skits and what have you. But they are to come full circle to that and then be on an actual film set with you is like we'd never done that. We'd never done that because where we grew up, there weren't many people that were bothered about media, and there were, especially in school, there weren't many people who really give a shit. My A-level media class had 4 people in it. There weren't enough people to do a set, like a set of people, and I'm so glad that we knew enough people to be able to bring a full team together to have this actual kind of working production. The thing that makes me so happy now is I can look at the Wingman document and I can see the list of credits. Holy shit.
A lot of people.
The amount of people that we're talking about. I mean, want to include extras? We're talking like maybe up to like 40 to 50 people, maybe. It is insane. We've had so many people in post-production involved as well. We've not even brought on some people yet for the end of post-production. So there's so many people, so much collaboration. But I've just loved, I've loved working on it, and I've loved working with you both on it. It's been bloody great, and I'm very excited for people to see it. We will probably do an episode with Sean down the line. I'd love to do an episode with Sean when it's getting closer to release, because then we can talk more about the film and the content of the film. But that'll be down the line. So if you have any more Wingman questions, then you might want to hold on for that episode, because that's going to be a whopper. I think
that's a nice place to.
I think that's a nice place to transition over to our favorite segment. Not that we pick a favorite child, but this is Just News. Roll the intro.
London zoo gorilla drank 5 litres of blackcurrant juice after escaping enclosure. So I know a little bit about the background of this, and I know that this was they specify undiluted squash.
Jesus Christ!
And I really love the idea of a gorilla has escaped from an enclosure. He's got freedom for maybe the first time in his life if he was born there. And the greed they talk about in the Bible. He's seen squash. He's seen undiluted squash. He's drank 5 liters of it, and then
Jesus Christ.
they caught him because
comatose
to drink.
Jesus wept. Okay.
So do you want to
take us through? Yeah. So what we usually do is you can like read through the article and we'll kind of scroll through it and we'll just kind of stop and take the piss if there's anything hilariously funny.
Okay. So we've got Kumbuku, a male silverback, sparked an armed police response after his breakout on 13th of October.
Play the video. We'll just play the screen video. On the video. Is this the gorilla or is he just? Is that just
that's him escaping, I believe.
Oh, I thought he was going to be drinking the squash. No, they've got stock footage. That's so annoying. So funny. I was hoping I'd see the gorilla drinking the squash. Anyway,
so we've got the silverback gorilla, who's escaped, sent London Zoo into lockdown.
It's London Zoo.
Yeah, it was London Zoo. Made an opportunistic exit through 2 unlocked doors into a corridor where a keeper was working. Professor David Field, the zoological director, said Kumbuka was kept calm by the member of staff with whom he had a close bond. Armed police were called to the central London attraction, and visitors were evacuated when the alarm was raised.
And I'm sorry, Cooper, do you think armed police is a strange one, given that we've talked about Ken Allen and Harambe on this podcast before?
I just don't know if an armed police response is...
They're pretty strong.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. I mean, I would be. I think if I was in that corridor and a gorilla I turn round and there's just a gorilla at the end of the corridor drinking squash, I probably would expect armed police.
Yeah, I just don't think that I would be any different. If I was a gorilla in an enclosure and I've tasted freedom for the first time in my life, and then I see a milkshake, I think the milkshake would taste better than the freedom.
I was going to say, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's probably the most Euan thing you could say. You're a big fan of milkshakes. I think if you were a gorilla, it would be very easy to tempt you out with a milkshake.
So
anyway,
the incursion into the zookeeper area culminated in Kumbuka glugging 5 liters of undiluted blackcurrant squash before being tranquilized and moved back to safety. An in-house investigation into the
Do you think he was tranquilized by the squash? Like, was it enough to sort of knock him out?
Honestly, I don't know, because gorillas are pretty big.
I was going to say, yeah.
I just want to know the specifics. This is what I want to know. I want to know, where were they keeping 5 liters of undiluted blackcurrant
this is what I was going to say.
Near a gorilla enclosure, and why? And then also
wandered into the staff room and was like, this is mine now.
Was it 1 5-liter glug, like a big thing, or was it multiple 1-liter bottles that he's had to unscrew and then drink?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's quite impressive, really, that he's managed to do that.
Yeah,
and it says here at the bottom that I can read, 184 kilograms, so 29 stone.
My God.
Alpha male.
Oh my!
You keep talking. It's all right. We'll just have the gorilla footage in the background.
Yeah, I'm watching it myself. You got, I can certainly tell you that there were no broken locks. Kumbuka did not smash any windows. He was never on the loose. So he's a good boy, really. Like, they're kind of framing him as the villain, but really he's just a curious George. He has just sort of he's walked through an open door, drunk undiluted squash, and they're kind of framing him as he's broke, he's on the loose.
Bro did nothing wrong. Bro
wrong.
was just thirsty, okay?
I think it's all we've learned something from the various gorilla and monkey stories on this podcast. It's always the gorillas and the monkeys that will be framed as the villains of the stories, not the people who have
Ken
either
Allen
let them
did
run
nothing wrong.
Ken Allen did do nothing wrong, and he was an escape artist.
Yeah,
he was. Jesus, where I just can't get over the 5 of undiluted.
That's why one of the reasons I like this article is that they had to specify undiluted.
Yeah.
It's a very specific thing. But that you have to specify that because otherwise, I'm imagining he's got a 5-liter bottle and he's just kind of pouring it out and then putting a bit of tap water in and then drinking it. He's like,
oh, it's not quite strong enough. A little bit more. He's perfectly getting it right. He's like Breaking Bad with squash.
But I'm not being funny, right? I feel sorry for the zookeepers because he must have been shitting through the eye of a needle after drinking 5 liters of undiluted.
Yeah,
A lot
facts,
of
to be
sugar.
fair.
Unless it
Exactly.
was no
Purple as
added
well.
sugar. I think they should have specified that. It's like, what brand? Was it no added sugar?
Man, that's a great
there any
Robinson's
numbers?
advert.
If it was Robinson's on a sleep reel, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
I
imagine if this happened like 20 years ago and E-numbers were still a thing.
The other thing to take into account,
God,
mate,
you sound like my dad.
it could have been like double or quadruple strength. Like,
Oh, yeah.
bro's drinking double
Imagine that.
5 liters of double
they got
strength
the,
blackcurrant.
I quite like the quadruple strength blackcurrant from Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
If it's that, I tell you, he's dead. So it can't have been that. It can't have been
It was
that.
definitely, if
But I
that
do
is the
like the
case, then it was
concept of
definitely
him
the blackcurrant that's tranquilized him.
Not shitting
Yeah.
through the eye of a needle, bright purple shit all over the enclosure walls for the
I-
next 2
Throwing
weeks.
I
it
also
in
like-
people looking at the enclosure.
I like
Also,
the
can you
idea.
imagine drinking 5 litres of fucking fluid anyway?
Yeah, I was about to say
it's
any,
quite a lot
any fluid. Like 5 liters is a lot. I also
in
think
one sitting.
it will be. I'm imagining a scenario where he goes back in, and the other gorillas were like, "What's it like out there?" Like, what, it's like, what did you do? Like, what's happening? And all he did with his freedom was drink squash. That was it.
Honestly, based.
I love it. I love it.
So based.
And you said you've got another story
do.
for us. You've got 2. You're treating us to 2 today.
Yeah, my thinking was the 2 places I've lived are, Devon. I grew up like Dartmoor, Plymouth, and London. So this is a London story.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd share a Plymouth story
Oh,
as well.
very nice.
So I'm going to send you over a Plymouth story.
Well, you've cooked with this one because that's a Just News classic there.
Oh, is it?
Do you know our history
Yeah.
of escaped animals on this podcast?
I
We have
don't
quite a
know.
few.
Do you want to run me up to
the
speed?
first news story.
You know what you need to do, Euan, is you need to watch the ranking of all. We did a tier list ranking episode of all of our Just News stories. We just went off headline alone.
Well, you need to do a ranking of like monkey/gorilla.
So the first
related
ever
articles
Just
now.
News story I did
Yeah.
on the podcast was an orangutan called Ken Allen who escaped his
Yeah.
enclosure on multiple occasions and didn't cause terror. He would just go to other animals' enclosures and wind them up. That's all he would do.
He was rage baiting.
Yeah, he would just wander around the zoo and rage bait, and he became such like he became such like a figure that there's like we found a song
about
online written about the stories of him escaping and just rage baiting other animals in the zoo. You just go and be like that, like I'm outside, you're not. Like
I think monkeys are fascinating.
Oh, mate,
they
amazing.
always make the best headlines.
yeah.
They do. Well, we'll see. We might have a better one on our hands
Yeah?
here. Let's have a look at this. Okay, headline.
Okay, so this is Plymouth. Plymouth is a really weird place. It's sort of like Camden or Los Angeles in the sense that it's got like Gotham NPC
Yeah.
energy to it.
It's like Stockport.
Yeah, and so this one was one I remember happening. There's a lot of seagull stories. There was a seagull story about a seagull eating a pigeon in the middle of Plymouth city centre.
Nice.
And there was also this one where a drunken thug attacked a man with a seagull
Legendary.
after carrying it around Plymouth.
Honestly,
so he, by the feet.
Okay. So I want to know more. What is going
This that better be a weapon in GTA 6. That's all I'm saying.
A drunken thug attacked man with seagull after carrying it around Plymouth shop.
Yep. That's Plymouth for you.
Why did no one stop him when he took it into the shop? Anyway, go on. Let's have a read.
Okay, so a drunken thug carried a seagull around a shop and threw it at a man in the street, a court heard. Paul Elcombe, age 29, launched the bird at the stranger before raining kicks and punches to his head as he lay on the ground.
It's not funny, is it really?
It's not.
It
But the
is,
fact
but
that
it
his
isn't.
weapon was a seagull.
I just want to know if it's alive or dead.
The seagull is probably not with us. Oh, wait, no.
Surely.
Shock.
Okay,
Look at this.
hang on,
Let's keep
okay.
reading. Walking home after a 2-day drink and drugs bender, picked up an injured bird from the road. He then carried it around Mutley Plain, showing it to late night customers. Elcombe then attacked the man by launching the bird, which then flew away.
That's so funny.
So the seagull's fine. The seagull's
Nice.
fine.
No, it's probably not now. But
Maybe
imagine
not.
you've had like as a seagull. It's hard to put yourself in a seagull's shoes, but try. You you get injured. You have a shit day. You get injured. You're lying there trying to be like, okay, I'm going to just take some time. I need to heal. And then some pisshead picks you up, takes you around showing you off to people, and then throws you off somewhere.
It's like some Black Ops 2 multiplayer attack drone. Like, it's like you got to get bro's got a kill streak. So,
and I do have one
tactical seagull incoming.
It's just such a niche thing to happen. There's just a lot of seagull stories. I do actually have one more very, very quick headline, which is I am going to say.
Bro's happy with himself there.
The most...
He looks delighted, to be fair.
That's a Plymouth man, through and through. I've got one more news story from you, which is also Plymouth.
God.
It's very, very brief. It is the most mundane article you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
You've got shot as wheelie bin blown over by the wind on Plymouth Street. It's windy enough to blow over dustbins in Plymouth today.
That's it. That's literally.
Yeah, actually, that's the end of the article. Leave it there.
That is the. There is actually. I'm pretty sure there is an attached image of said wheelie bin. If it loads,
it's not on the screen for some reason. Loading. That's really annoying.
No,
it is.
I haven't enabled cookies.
I can just tell you.
It is a wheelie bin on Discord.
It's a wheelie bin, and it's on its side, and it's on a street. I don't think you really need to see the image to imagine what's happening. But yeah, I think that sometimes Plymouth, either there's weird things going on, like people using seagulls as weapons, or literally nothing is happening to the point where they have to write an article like this.
But guys, how do we know it was the wind? Maybe he threw the seagull at the dustbin and it...
You never know.
This is what happens. I like when we
conspiracies.
Yeah,
maybe. Exactly.
Detectives. We've got wheelie bin detectives.
Hey, maybe it expands further. Maybe they're all connected.
We've got
maybe
the detective universe.
Maybe it was Percy Foster in the wheelie bin, and that's what's made it fall over. Yeah, real ones get that one. Do you know? Apparently, that's a hoax.
Yeah, I saw that on Discord.
I can't believe that's a fucking hoax. I thought it was completely real. Sorry, we'll stop sharing the screen. Just before we wrap up, the Percy Foster saga on Nostalgia Bait, which is probably one of our favourite just news stories. For context, and the headline is
Gordon Ramsay's
dwarf porn star double Percy Foster dies in Badger Den.
I saw this.
Apparently, that's a hoax.
Really?
But I thought that was real.
It's quite niche.
He's there somewhere. He's out there.
It's my favourite headline we've had.
Guys, we're actually cancelling the podcast and we're starting a new show called The Search for Percy Foster as we try and find one island in the middle of nowhere.
Nostalgia Bait presents The Search for Percy Foster. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, this has been a great episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you about all of your creative outputs and what inspires you.
I feel like whenever we film, there's always some kind of weird weather. Because when we filmed Battles in Time, we were in a hot room, and we've been in a hot room today. When we filmed the pub crawl, it was storm.
Yeah.
So
and hot.
The weather,
and every other weather.
I've been enjoying myself. It's very hot in this room, but thank you so much for having me on.
You look very summery. You do look like you're in the middle of a jungle.
Slightly, I've put a plant which hides the light in the background.
Nice.
Look
DOP.
at this man, set designer, DOP. Yeah,
I had to have the blue, the Nostalgia Bait logo, the Nostalgia Bait branding. Had to do it.
He's looking for a job at this point.
I know. Honestly, hey, we need a producer.
We hire it.
So please do, for those watching, please do go and subscribe to Euan in the comments below. Any other social medias you want to shout out? Any other projects you got going on? Now is the time to share that with the world.
I just say subscribe to the Hobbycast. I would say look out for when Wingman is coming out. And just thank you to everyone that's helped us on all of these various creative projects that we've all been on over the years.
Yeah.
That's a really nice sentiment. I love that.
Amazing. And thank you all for watching and or listening at home or on your daily commute to work, wherever it is. If you're listening on Spotify, please make sure you give us a hearty 5-star review. It really, really does help. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and like the video and leave a comment. Tell us your TCG journey. Tell us your...
as well. You can hype us now. You can hype us now.
Hype's the new one, isn't it? Yeah. Make sure leave a comment. Tell us about your TCG journey or your history of Pokemon and that. And thank you again. And we will see you next month. I've had to mentally prepare myself for that.
Very good.
This whole episode.
Very good.
We will see you next month for... Do we want to say what we're doing?
Yeah, I feel like we can do it enough in advance now. We can do the royal we.
I believe we're in the thick of it.
It's the KSI episode.
Yeah, I believe we are in the thick of it.
We're going to be talking about. We've got a bit of a history on Nostalgia Bit. One of our best, most sort of well-received episodes was our album review or album ranking albums of all time. And one of Cooper's mentions was a KSI album, which he has been historically panned for across many episodes and in real life, just on his daily day-to-day experiences. And since KSI has gone to make incredible waves in the YouTube community, leaving the Sidemen, going in a more strange sort of Mr. Beast direction. So next time we'll be talking all things KSI. With music, with
YouTube,
brain rot,
the whole shebang,
the state of YouTube, and we'll probably talk about whatever else is going on as well.
Absolutely.
By the time this episode comes out, Spider-Man Brand New Day will be out.
And Odyssey
so
as well.
Probably going to talk about that
loads,
at some point.
House of Dragon will finish as well. So,
House of Dragon's so good.
So good.
Anyway,
thank you, and we will see you next month.